RFK Stadium in Washington is sold out again. That's 159 games in a row as CBS Sports presents the National Football League. We welcome you to the first game of the 1987 season today, featuring the NFC Eastern Division rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles, against the Washington Redskins. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Verne Lundquist along with John Madden. Philadelphia comes in today as one of the youngest teams in the NFL. That's exemplified, John, by the presence of Randall Cunningham as their starting quarterback.
Well, Randall Cunningham is the quarterback. As Buddy Ryan says, he's the boss man of the offense. And you wonder today which Randall Cunningham we're going to see. Last year, when he started at quarterback, every time he dropped back to pass, he ran the ball 1 out of 3 times. So they straightened that out in the offseason. In the preseason, he only ran 1 out of 9 times. But the offense was very conservative. It was boring. Cunningham says, I have to make something happen. I have to run more. I have to go deep. He's going to do that today. Now, that worries the Redskins because they remember he did it to them 2 years ago and beat them.
There are a lot of folks around the country who not only think the Redskins will get in the playoffs, but might supplant the Giants as the division champions. And yet Joe Gibbs is voicing some concerns.
Well, the biggest concern that he has is his running game because he likes to run the football, and he needs George Rogers to do that. He's had Rogers very little in the preseason. As a matter of fact, he's missed most of the preseason with a turf toe. He's going to start today and go as long as he can. And I think they need that running game to keep the pressure off their starting right tackle. Ed Simmons, a rookie, starting for the first time, and he has to go against one of the best defensive linemen in football in Reggie White. I'll tell you, that's going to be an interesting matchup.
And in the meantime, the Eagles will get the ball first. They have won the toss. Steve Cox getting ready to kick off for Washington. And the deep man, Evan Cooper and Junior Toddle-Latossi. Redskins have been a slow starting team under Joe Gibbs. But they did win the opener here against Philadelphia a year ago, 41-14. Toddle-Latossi. 2 men to beat. And the first man stops him. Darrell Green, but a nice return from Junior Toddle-Latossi. And now Randall Cunningham. As John said, he's been called the boss. And here's the group he'll face. Charles Mann, Dave Butts, Darrell Grant, and Marcus Cook starts for an injured Dexter Manley, though Manley will play some. Mel Kaufman just out of the hospital yesterday. Rich Malott in place of Neil Olkowitz and Monty Coleman. And the secondary, Darrell Green, Barry Wilburn, Todd Bowles, who replaces Curtis Jordan, and Alvin Walton as strong safety. 1st and 10. Overcast day in Washington. It's been raining off and on all night. Cunningham still has it. Fooled everybody in that defensive line and linebackers. The offense for the Eagles will have Cunningham at quarterback, Anthony Toney and Michael Haddix in the backfield. Mike Quick and Kenny Jackson are the wide receivers. And the offensive line, it's been a problem for the Eagles. Matt Darwin, Adam Schreiber, Jerry Feary, Ron Baker, Joe Conwell, and the tight end John Spagnuolo. 1st down 10 on Cunningham's rumble. Ball at the 43. And the sun starts to peek through the clouds. Anthony Toney, fumble. Redskins ball. Philadelphia had 9 fumbles in the last 2 preseason games.
But, you know, that's a tough place to run against this Redskin team. Is inside, but it looked like on that one that Anthony Toney, who's starting his first NFL game as a halfback, he just dropped the ball out. It looked like it slipped right out of his left arm and went out the backside even before he was hit.
First turnover of the game gives the Redskins the ball at the 42. Jay Schroeder at quarterback. 3 wide receiver offense. Ricky Sanders gets the start. Don Warren, the tight end, is tight left. George Rogers, who carried 4 times in preseason. In the first 4 games, who went out with a turf toe. The first game, who went out with a turf toe. Here's the defensive line for the Eagles: Reggie White, Ken Clark, Jerome Brown, and Clyde Simmons. The linebackers Seth Joyner, Mike Reichenbach, and Dwayne Giles. And the secondary, which has been a real problem for Philadelphia: Bill Frisell, William Frisell, Albert Fowles, Terry Hogue, and Andre Waters. Buddy Ryan's defensive secondary gave up 6 touchdown passes in the last 2 preseason games. 2nd and 9. That's Kelvin Bryant now in place of Rogers goes in motion. Through his hands, incomplete. The Redskin offense features Jay Schroeder at quarterback. He is joined by George Rogers, Art Monk, Gary Clark, Don Warren, and the H-back today is Glenn Dennison. That's been a problem area because of injuries. Joe Jacoby, Raleigh McKenzie, Russ Grimm at center now. R.C. Thielman and the rookie Ed Simmons, who will be watching against Reggie White today, as Joe Gibbs will as well. 3rd and 9, and the H-back Dennison is now in the lineup. Down. Schroeder being chased. A lot of room. Still on his feet to the 11, fumble. And that is a live football. Now we'll have to unravel this because there was a flag at the time of the snap. If it stands, Terry Hogue got it.
Well, he did. That's the Eagles' ball. I'll tell you, this is some start.
Offense, penalty decline, first down.
Yeah, that happens in a first regular season game. Everyone is too tight. They're all too tight. And so you get the Eagles get the ball, they fumble with no contact. You get Jay Schroeder here, he gets a big play. Watch downfield. Glenn Dennison, number 89, is going to get a block. See him point? Dennison gives him that block that breaks him free right there. But then at the end, he gets the ball stripped out.
Timeout, Eagles football. Turnovers now even at 1 apiece. 13:05 to go first quarter. Eagles have the ball back for the second time, and Buddy Ryan will operate with a double tight end set. David Little. And that's the first fumble in the last 10 games for Washington. Schroeder stripped to the ball. Randall Cunningham was one back in the backfield. It's Michael Haddix. Doesn't get anything. Let's go back and take a look at that fumble.
William Frizzell made a real nice play. Watch him right here. Schroeder's looking this way. He sneaks in and knocks the ball out, strips the ball. One of the things the Eagles said they wanted to work on is that. Right there, stripping the ball and coming up with turnover. They worked on that the entire preseason. Those things just don't happen, fumble. Sometimes the other team makes them happen.
2nd down, 10. Tony back in the backfield. Backs are split behind Cunningham. Fumble. Mix up on the handoff. Washington has the ball. Rich Malott at middle linebacker in place of Neil Olkowitz today.
Cunningham was trying to hand off to Michael Haddix, and they just collided back there. Watch him. He goes back. They just run into each other. Should have just held the ball because Haddix never did get it. In fact, that was Anthony Tony, I think. But the quarterback in the back, Cunningham and Tony, just bumped into each other.
Maybe next preseason they'll work on holding on to the ball.
But yeah, the other side of that.
That's right.
Well, that wasn't caused by the defense. That was caused by the offense. Who did it to you? We did it to ourselves.
1st and 10, no score. Washington threatens. George Rogers hit from behind and knocked down at the 10. Miami has scored early on New England. Playing up in Foxborough this afternoon. Rogers for the career between Washington and New Orleans, 6,500 yards. Bothered by that turf toe, which sounds like such a simple little thing, John, but it can be agonizingly painful.
I guess the two most painful things that you can play with are a turf toe and a hip. You know, one of those hip pointers.
2nd and 9. Schroeder looks left. Being chased now, gets rid of it just in time and throws it away deep in the left end zone.
I tell you, he had to because Reggie White was right on him. You see, Reggie White is going to chase him. He has good speed. He starts here. Schroeder starts here. He comes all the way. He didn't have anything open over in here, so he had to throw the ball. But watch what happens when you get that speed coming from your backside. White just goes right through Dennison. You see it right there. If he doesn't throw that ball away, he's going to take a sack and a loss.
Officials have called the timeout, so the clock is stopped with 11:37 remaining in the first quarter. We're scoreless thus far. Timeout was called by the officials because of an injury to Jay Schroeder and then charged the Redskins, and Schroeder came over, was looked at, and is back in the lineup. 4,109 yards last year. Terrific season in his first full year as a starter.
He took a real shot from Reggie White. One, when he hit him, and then two, when he drove him into the ground. He got the shoulder on the hit and then the shoulder on the ground.
3rd and 9. No score. 11:37 to go. First quarter. Monk, Glenn Dennison, both wide right. Stunning by the defensive line. Schroeder gets rid of it just behind Jerome Brown of the Eagles. Mike Pitts, just acquired from Atlanta, was the man who knifed through.
And he was on the same side over there as Reggie White. That's what we talked about earlier. If they get in passing downs, that's going to give them trouble all day, that side, because they have Reggie White over there, who's one of the best, and then they have a rookie, Ed Simmons, who's trying to block him. And that's not going to work if you have to pass the ball.
Here's the much-traveled Jess Atkinson on to try the field goal now for Washington. 7 of 9 in preseason. Had a good playoff series last year, 6 of 6 at the end of the year. And he's good on his first effort of 1987. So the Redskins are able to get 3 on the second Philadelphia turnover of the first quarter, and they're up 3-0 with 11:30 to go, first quarter. Don't forget, weather permitting, we'll have the men's final of the U.S. Open Tennis Championship next. Yvonne Lendl, who dispatched Jimmy Connors yesterday against Mats Wilander, who had to go some to defeat Stefan Edberg. That's scheduled to come up next on CBS, and we'll keep you posted on how the weather is in New York. It was raining, as you may have seen on the NFL today, and they may or may not be able to play, but ought to be handy if they do get it there. Boy, Lendl is playing well. Well, that's not a bad average, 51-5 when they score first. And Jay Schroeder still getting help on the sideline. The backup, of course, is Doug Williams, who threw exactly 1 pass last year for the Redskins.
You know, it was interesting. We were talking to Jay Schroeder yesterday, and he was saying in that Giant game, in a championship game, he was knocked out by Jim Burt, and he played the last 4 minutes, and he doesn't even know it or remember it. He went in the locker room. They had to cut his uniform off, and it was an hour and 45 minutes before he came to.
Steve Cox with the kick. Cooper and Tom Latossi the deep man. Evan Cooper. A lot of room. Out of bounds. A flag is down back at the 26-yard line. Darrell Green made the tackle on the special teams.
And that has to be against the Eagles. It seems like that's one area where we always see penalties, is on the return, blocking from behind, blocking in the back.
Illegal block, number 56, receiving team, 10 yards, first down.
There's Jay Schroeder on the sidelines.
I tell you, that shoulder is bothering. Watch it here. Reggie White hits him there, and then watch when it hits the ground. See, he puts all his weight, everything is driven right on that shoulder. Of course, and he's having a tough time there. I mean, you can see that he's having a tough time lifting it, and Doug Williams is starting to warm up.
That was Cliff Benson working with him. David Little again in as a double tight end, and Cunningham will throw on first down. Caught by the tight end, John Spagnola, who has made a remarkable comeback in Buddy Ryan's graces in 1 year.
Well, a year ago, he worked as an investment banker in the offseason in Philadelphia, and that upset Buddy Ryan. He didn't like that. This year, he worked as a football player, and it was funny. We saw him on the field before the game in a T-shirt, and he got a new body. The guy made himself a new body.
It's a good investment. Junior Tom Latossi in the lineup on the draw play, nailed for a loss inside the 15. Darrell Grant, number 77, got there.
Darrell Grant didn't pay any attention to a draw. He just starts straight ahead. He's just running straight ahead. There's Totalatosi is going to come back and run that delay. Grant's just sitting right there waiting for him. I'll tell you, when you get Grant sitting and waiting for something, you got a big guy sitting and waiting there. Look at those arms. They look like legs growing out of his shoulders.
3rd and 9, Eagles. Greg Garrity comes in as a third wide receiver. He's wide left. Jackson and Quick are wide right. Mike Quick is the motion man. Cunningham nailed. Marcus Cook, who's starting in place of Dexter Manley today. Last year, Philadelphia was sacked 104 times, the quarterbacks.
Marcus Cook, they didn't even block him. Watch him, he's right there. He just runs straight through and no one touches him. Look, I mean, he's there, he's reduced, he's inside. The tackle turns out, the guard turns in, and here comes Cook straight up the middle. That's not a missed block, that's a missed design.
Matt Darwin was the tackle who went left. Short punt taken by Eric Yarber, number 80. And he's down at the 38-yard line. But the travails of Philadelphia continue. They've lost 2 fumbles. They've had their quarterback sacked for the first time in 87. And Doug Williams is the new Washington quarterback. 9:34 to go first quarter. Washington up 3-0 on a Jess Atkinson field goal. And following that short punt, Doug Williams has come on in place of Jay Schroeder, who has been taken to the locker room for x-rays. Williams, 12,000 yards for his career, most of which was spent in Tampa, then in the USFL. And as a backup quarterback, he attempted 1 pass in 86. That was incomplete against the Dallas Cowboys. 3 wide receiver set. Rodgers goes left. Inside the 35, near the 32. Ed Simmons leading the way. Let's check you on other scores. Pittsburgh, an early lead over the 49ers. And Cincinnati has gone on top of Indianapolis. Rams with a field goal lead over Houston down in the Astrodome. Same for Detroit over Minnesota. And St. Louis leads Dallas 3-0 first quarter. 2nd down and 6 Redskins. They have a 3-0 lead. 9 minutes to go first quarter. Warren in the backfield. Leads the way for Rodgers. And is stopped at the 30-yard line by Seth Joyner, number 59.
That's the way the Redskins can get in a power formation, and you don't know which way it's going to go. You take your tight end, Donnie Warren, who's their best blocker, and you put him in the backfield. Now they can run the ball either right or left and let him lead it.
Redskins have Clint Didier on injured reserve, Terry Orr on injured reserve, and they signed Glenn Dennison as a tight end, or an H-back rather, and then Cliff Benson. So Warren is really the only healthy one with experience at that spot for the Redskins. 33. Clark in motion. Williams completes the pass to Gary Clark, spins, and is close to the first down near the 28. Elbert Fowles with the defensive job, number 29.
That's an interesting battle out there when you get Fowles out there and Gary Clark, because the ball was thrown and completed short of the first down. I'll tell you, on the rest of the play, Clark beat Fowles by being able to pick up that extra yard. I think this guy here is one of the best players and one of the most underrated players in the league. Yeah, I think he is, Gary Clark.
That's my job.
Yeah. And he has his shoulder pad hanging out. I love it. He's going to run the pattern with half the pad out.
1st and 10. Williams looks his way. Throws to Art Monk. Inside the 20 to the 19. Fowles and Reichenbach make the tackle.
You know, the Redskins only carry 2 quarterbacks. Now, if you wonder what happens now, you have Schroeder in the locker room, you have Doug Williams playing. What happens? Who's the 3rd quarterback? The 3rd quarterback is Russ Grimm, the center, number 68. Yeah, he was a quarterback in high school. He's listed as the 3rd quarterback.
I would pay to see that.
I would like to see it. Single wing football.
2nd and 2. Flag is out. Ryan. Almost enough to move the chain. Backfield in motion. Our motion call. Joe Gibbs looking on. John, did you get as nervous before a season opener as Joe obviously was?
I don't know. Joe stays nervous. It's a funny thing how Joe was walking around on Friday eating everything in sight. You know, coaches that tend to gain weight will gain weight during the season.
Motion, left guard went before the snap. Offense, 5 yards, still second down.
Because if you tend to gain weight when you get nervous, you eat all the time. And Joe Gibbs is one of those guys. I think Buddy Ryan has a little of that in him, too.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, I gained weight. Yeah, I did. I mean, I would work long, hard hours, not much sleep. You think you'd lose weight, you gain weight because you have so many hours you're awake. You have a lot of meals in that time. You know, like if you're only awake 12 hours, you get 3 meals. If you're awake 18, you get 1 or 2 more meals in there.
Second down. And Williams. Watch out. Ricky Sanders to the 10-yard line. Mike Reichenbach with the tackle. Sanders has a loose shoulder pad.
I'll tell you, those are good receivers, though. When they can bring in a Sanders as a third receiver, they're going to use that formation a lot. See what he does? He just runs a hook. Now, when he hooks and stops, now he can slide in or out depending on where the coverage is. He hooked, and then he slid out.
First and 10. Washington up 3-0. 5:58 to go first quarter. Kelvin Bryant in the backfield. Gets the handoff and comes right. Being chased by Jerome Brown. Is knocked down by Andre Waters. With help from Dwayne Giles, the linebacker, number 53.
Watch the defensive line now. They've seen that counter tray where they pull both those guards, and they know how to play it. Watch 99. As he pursues, he doesn't run where Kelvin Bryant was. He comes right down the line where he's going to go. Buddy Ryan thought this guy, 99, Jerome Brown, was the best player in the whole draft. That included Dexter Verne.
Second down and 10. Play fake, reverse. Pretty good defensive job, and Moe cuts it back up the middle where Kerry Hogue and Reggie White combined for the tackle. White and Hogue were not fooled. They had good angles on the play.
That's the thing. When the ball goes away, the end man, in that case was Reggie White, you like to chase it, but if you're the end man, you have to look for the reverse. Watch him now. They start the ball this way. Now, here's the handoff. Now, the guy back here outside the screen, he has to stay there. There he is, 92. When the ball goes away, look for something coming back to you.
Down 5. 3-0. Redskins lead. Williams has to scramble, drills it, touchdown. Hard bump. That is the first touchdown pass for Doug Williams in a Redskin uniform.
I tell you, you were right. He drilled that ball. Doug Williams had a heck of a start. He's come in the game. He's 4 for 4 and a touchdown.
Atkinson on for the extra point. The entire first quarter has been played in the Eagles' end of the field. Pretty good hold. Kick is good. Eric Yarber is the holder. There's a flag down.
I think it's going to be rough in the kicker.
Atkinson is in agony.
I tell you, I think he got it from his left side, his back side, after he kicked the ball. In fact, I don't think I know he did.
No foul. Number 57 pushed the blocker into the kicker. No foul. No foul.
The flag went down because Atkinson was hit after he kicked the ball, but now the officials are saying that he was blocked into the kicker, so there's no penalty.
Rich Malott is the Washington player who blocked the Eagle defender into Atkinson. Back in a moment. Stretcher has been brought out now for the Redskin place kicker, Jess Atkinson. Let's go back and see if we can determine what happened.
We can see it. It's right out here. Here's Cedric Brown. He's going to be blocked here by Rich Malott. Now, Brown is going to hit Atkinson right here, right after he kicks the ball, and they say that Malott blocked him into it. Now watch the outside guy block. There he comes. Now there's a bump right there. Now he comes in. Now watch him. He catches him right there on the left. It looks like his left leg after he kicked the ball. They threw the flag saying it was roughing the kicker. Then they changed it saying that Malott blocked Cedric Brown into Jess Atkinson.
Now they brought that plastic air cast out for his left leg. Looked like it was in his ankle.
Yeah,
Steve Cox is the backup place kicker and has been used as a long-distance place kicker, both here in Washington and previously with Cleveland. Now Jess Atkinson being helped onto the stretcher. It was Brown who bumped into Malott and then hit Atkinson right after the kick had been made. Elsewhere, Cincinnati with a 13-0 lead, and New England has tied up Miami now 7-7 first quarter. Kansas City with an early lead over San Diego. Detroit leads Minnesota by 6. Our score 10-0, and Jess Atkinson is the injured Redskin. Jay Schroeder already in the locker room being x-rayed with a shoulder injury. And now the Redskins, who have been injury depleted in preseason, have been hit once again. They already have Olkowitz on injured reserve, Didier and Orr, as we said. Mark May, the starting offensive lineman, is on injured reserve, and Atkinson being helped off out of the University of Maryland.
Going off the field, and he's yelling encouragement to his team. Okay, guys, go get him. You got a 10-0 lead.
We'll update you on the nature of the injury as soon as we get the report from the locker room, both Atkinson's and that of Jay Schroeder. So now Steve Cox, who will have to double up both of the punter and place kicker, is getting ready to tee it up, and Evan Cooper and Junior Todd Latossi are deep for the Redskins. 4:18 to go, first quarter, and the Redskins up 10-zip. That's a relatively short kick. Evan Cooper at the 10. As he gets down to the 23 and a flag comes flying out. And Dexter Manley is out on the field slapping high fives.
Well, the guy that made the play was Dennison, Glenn Dennison, number 89. He just came flying through all the blockers and made that tackle.
Manley may have injured himself as he ran on the field, John. He's limping as he comes on. A little bit of exuberance may have been costly.
Defense, late hit, 15 yards, first down.
The hit that Dennison makes here, he's gonna come through right there in the tackle that he made. I'll tell you, that's something. Anthony Copeland was the guy who they called for the penalty, number 56 for the Redskins. That was some coverage by Glenn Dennison.
First and 10, Philadelphia. This is as far north as they have gotten today.
Well, they need a break of some sort.
Haddix around the right corner, close for the first down. Out near the 48, Todd Bowles, number 23, made the stop.
They need something to get this offense going. You know, they've had the bad field position, they've had the turnovers, they've had nothing good happen at all. And so now maybe the 15-yard penalty, then they get a good run for a first down. This could be the thing that gets their offense started.
First down, Eagles. That is their second of the first quarter, which has 3:35 remaining. David Little in as an extra tight end. Haddix is the only running back. Under bubble. Jay back on the sidelines now. No further report from the Redskin bench on his injury.
Well, that's one good thing about the stadium now. They all have X-ray machines, so they took them in and X-rayed them.
We're live from RFK Stadium, where it's sellout again, 159 in a row. That's a league record. Verne Lundquist along with John Madden. The Redskins up by 10 with 3:05 to go first quarter. Ron Latrossi is back in the lineup, second down, 11. Stunts by the Redskin defensive line. And Monty Coleman comes up to make the tackle.
Well, they tried to go outside the Coleman side, and no one blocked it. I mean, they're having trouble with their design because they started out, remember, they didn't block Cook. Now watch, they're going to run to the left side here. Coleman will be out here, and no one blocks it. Look, they don't have a blocker assigned to him. So you have to make plays like that. Either the runner shouldn't have bounced it outside, or you have to bring a blocker out there. You can't do that.
Manley remains on the bench. It was thought he would play in passing circumstances. He's not in there. Steve Hamilton is for the Redskins. Ron Johnson for the Eagles. 3rd and 11, delay. Dexter Manley hasn't put a helmet on, but he's been in the middle of it.
Well, he's been a cheerleader.
Still third down.
He's trying to get the fans going because he knows what this place is like when these fans start rocking. I've been here in this press box where the whole stadium shook. Of course, they're not ready to shake the stadium in the first game of the season.
No. Wait till the Giants and the Cowboys come to town.
Well, that's the one they're waiting for. The Giants beat them 3 times last year.
3rd and 16.
That's in the back of every one of their minds.
Another flag down. Eagles have shot themselves at both feet. Pass was intended for Quick. That'll be another penalty, Philadelphia.
The Eagles.
Motion, number 37, offense, decline. 4th down.
The Eagles are doing a lot of stupid things offensively. And it's not the type of thing that, you know, they're getting beaten all the time, but they don't have a guy blocked. They leave Marcus Cook go on a pass protection. 3rd down, they move in motion, and just things that are hurting themselves more than the Redskins stop them.
John Telchik is on the punt. Boy, that is sky high. Eric Garber waits for it at the 15. Out to the 21. Injury report on Jay Schroeder. He sprained his right shoulder. He will not be back. Vernon Dean gets into it. There is Schroeder. And the word on the place kicker, Jess Atkinson, is a dislocated left ankle. They are taking him to a local hospital. So Schroeder, with a sprained shoulder, will not see action again today. 1:33 to go, first quarter. And this is by far the farthest back the Redskins have had the ball. Doug Williams, a perfect 4 for 4 for 30 yards and a touchdown. A lot of thought he might be traded in the offseason. Joe Gibbs black now and couldn't let him go. Overthrown, incomplete. Dennison takes a pop.
That was Andre Waters that made that pop there, and I think it could have been Andre Waters that made the pop on Jess Atkinson, too. Let's take a look at that again. He's going to come from the outside right there at the right side, and that was Andre Waters. I'll tell you, he's a guy that'll pop anything that moves. Buddy Ryan says, he said he's as tough as you can get, but I always worry about him. Sometimes he keeps going after the whistle, and he'll get you some penalties.
Second down and 10. Gilbert Bryant goes left, turns it up the field, gets a downfield block, and up for the first down, and the block was supplied from Ricky Sanders, the wide receiver.
The Redskins, when they get these guys healthy, when they can start and give you a George Rogers and then bring in a Kelvin Bryant, then bring in a Keith Griffin, they got a new rookie, Timmy Smith. I'll tell you, they can give you a lot of different backs.
Jeff Bostic back in the offensive line now.
Short yardage.
Right. 3rd and 1. Seth Joyner makes the tackle. They'll move the chain. Another Redskin first down. Rodgers picks it up.
You know, that's an area that I think they've really missed since John Riggins retired. There was no one that I know that was better at running short yardage than John Riggins. He would always get it. And since he's retired, it's gotten tougher and tougher for him.
Player down for the Eagles now at the 33-yard line.
I had a guy that was pretty good at it years ago for Oakland, Pete Banaszak. Never started, but he just had that natural feel to get that slide and pick up that first down.
1:07 to go in the first quarter here. And, of course, this is the first weekend of the regular season in the NFL. Let's go to Brent Musburger for this update.
Well, Verne and John, right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the field. Steve DeBerg's second scoring pass of the day. This one to Gerald Carter. So Ray Perkins is off to a good start. First team to score 2 touchdowns today, the Buccaneers. Let's go back to Verne.
All right, Brent. And Ray Perkins' successor at Alabama looked pretty good last night, too. Bill Curry at Alabama as they knocked off Penn State. Washington leads here 10-0.
Some things go in groups of 2.
Looks like the injured player might be Reggie White. Yes, it is. Took us a while to determine exactly who it was and playing on his back.
Reggie White, you know, is we always say one of the best defensive linemen in football. Well, he was in the Pro Bowl last year, and he was the MVP of the Pro Bowl. And that doesn't happen because they usually give that to guys like quarterbacks and running backs and those glamour things. And this is some player. Buddy Ryan says he's waiting for him to dominate on every play in every game, which he's capable of doing.
1st and 10 Redskins. We'll get a report on Reggie White. Mike Pitts has taken his spot. Redskins are up 10-0. Quick flip in the right flat. William Frizzell getting his first start at cornerback. He's ordinarily a free safety. And Frizzell makes the tackle on Gary Clark. From little James Madison, right?
Yeah.
It's not little James Madison. They got 12,000 students there.
That's right. I had a guy tell me once, he said, why does everyone, when they talk about Gary Clark, always put little in front of James Madison? Why don't you just leave it out and say Gary Clark from James Madison? He said it's a big school. So since that time, I've never said little again about Gary Clark or James Madison.
Could be the final play of the first quarter. There's Sanders in motion. Blitz is coming from the Eagles. Williams reads it, sends Gary Clark downfield, and William Frizzell had him stride for stride. And it'll be 3rd down. 1 second left. Doug Williams, John, seems to have accepted his position with the Redskins with a great degree of grace. I mean, he seems very happy.
Well, that's the thing, and that's probably the toughest position in the NFL because you have to get ready and you know you're not going to play. And then all of a sudden you're standing there watching the game, boom, the quarterback goes down, and you're in there. And to stay ready and get ready week after week after week like you're going to play is very difficult.
Offensive confusion. Good protection for Williams. He finds Kelvin Klein, and Klein drops it.
That's the thing that drives a coach to Eaton more. Wide open, fake play, and the guy drops the ball.
Well, we'll take timeout for a snack. That's the end of the first quarter. For the second quarter of the first game of the '87 season, Verne Lundquist and John Madden. It's been an all-Washington show thus far, but they have lost 2 of their key participants. Jay Schroeder out with a sprained shoulder, and Jess Atkinson with a dislocated left ankle. The place kicker now, Steve Cox, is on the punt, and Greg Garrity is back to return it. 5-year man out of Penn State. 4th and 5. Drive kick. Garrity with a lot of room. Pretty good open field. field tackle from Dean Hamill, number 78.
That was interesting. He's the first guy down there. You see very few big guys on coverage teams. And when you see a 280-pound guy running down and being the first guy down there, you know why they call him a Tasmanian devil. Watch him, 78 right there. First guy down. They got all those little receivers and backs. And here comes some defensive lineman, 280 pounds, first guy down, and making an open field tackle. He was all Madden last year for stuff like that. He does stuff.
Should have been. 1st and 10, Philadelphia, trying to find the answer to the puzzle. There's part of it, Kenny Jackson. That's a first down. On the first 4 possessions, Eagles fumbled twice and had to punt twice. Not going to get you in the win column.
Well, they don't look like they're in sync offensively. They look like that first quarter that they were a half a step off.
One of the problems in preseason is that Cunningham threw 75% of his passes to backs or tight ends. He finally hit a wide receiver down. Kenny Jackson. Across the middle, the tight end David Little makes the catch, and that'll be a pickup of 8. As Monty Coleman, number 51, makes the defensive contact.
I think when you get in this situation, Verne, you just want to get something going, get something started, and that's what the Eagles are doing. See, they had Little in there. Now you see Little coming back in with Spagnuolo, so they're changing the formation. They're going to give them 2 tight ends. Keep giving that defense different looks, trying to come up with something that can get you in sync.
2nd and 2. 10-0 ball game. Redskins lead. Early second quarter. Todd Lundquist dashes out of the tackle behind the line and spins toward the first down, but it's going to be close. Reggie White still on the bench, and no report from the bench yet on what kind of injury he sustained.
You know, one thing, I think those guys are going to get tired because you watch it on television, you don't realize how hot it is down there. I mean, it's humid. It's one of these days where it's 90 degrees where you just walk outside and you start sweating.
It rained all day yesterday, and the rain is still in the area.
Yeah, that drains you. I mean, that takes all your fluids out. Most important thing you have to do is keep putting fluids in so you don't cramp up.
First time the Eagles have been across the 50. They have a 3rd and 1. Michael Haddix, former #1 draft choice from Mississippi State, gets the first down. New Orleans leads Cleveland 7-0 in the Superdome. Indianapolis has scored to cut the lead to 6, and Miami back on top of New England in the second quarter. The Eagles now with the first down. They trail by 10, and Cunningham for the day is 3 out of 4 for 29 yards. They were most conservative in preseason. In part trying to get down in the sacks. Now they throw on first down. Cunningham out of 1 tackle. Now fires it complete to Haddix, who is driven backwards near the 38-yard line. Charles Mann was the defender who was back in the face of Randall Cunningham.
That was interesting. They blocked Mann on the line, then he got free, and then Cunningham got away, then Mann got blocked again. That was when you have a guy like Cunningham back there, what you have to do is keep blocking. Watch on the left of the screen, Mann 71. He gets blocked. Now he gets inside. See, now he's free. He's going to get him. Now he gets blocked again after he missed him. Joe Conwell just peeled him right off.
First time out this half.
Hey, that's the toughest thing for a defensive back because while Cunningham's running, they got to cover him.
Eagles have called timeout. They're first.
Nice blind, Greg.
Thanks.
So, you're really not going to do another tour?
Nah, Susan and I have made plans.
You're going to miss this place.
Sure, Doc. My mind's made up, all right?
Then I guess you're going to want this.
American accepted me. Looks like I'm going back to flight school.
I hope they know they're getting one of the best.
When you're something special, people know it.
People are rushing to Yugo's 100,000 countdown celebration. Ezo at 1.9 confusion and big down payment. Here's so simple. A great car, a great price, and now a great deal. You won't believe how much you can save. Get to your Yugo dealer now.
Your face takes enough abuse, so you need the Gillette Good News Plus disposable. Its Lubra-Smooth strip is designed to reduce irritation, so shaving feels so good. Good News Plus.
Get out of
Things
here!
for sure at Meineke.
I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler, and it better be quality! Buzz says we're not going to pay a lot, and we appreciate your money. I refuse to pay a lot for this muffler.
So don't worry. We install quality Everlast mufflers from just $18.93 installed.
I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler and still get quality.
You're not going to pay a lot for quality at Meineke. Nothing looks better.
11:32 to go first half. Jay Schroeder on the bench with a bruised shoulder, but we now understand he might return. Might. Jess Atkinson is out with a dislocated ankle. And here's where Jay Schroeder was injured with a hit from Reggie White. Bruised his right shoulder. Second down, 5. Eagles trail by 10. Blitz is threatened by the Redskins. They're coming. Cunningham steps up in the pocket. Now here's where he's most dangerous. Tripped from behind and down at the 30, but that should be enough to move the chain again. Charles Mann caught up with it.
The guy that made that block is Michael Haddix. The Redskins are coming on a blitz, and Haddix just stepped up there and really drilled. So what? Boom! There was a heck of a crack here, and then he could, Cunningham could find the room. But watch the block that the fullback makes right there. Now that is contact, and that opened that little seam there that Cunningham could get out. You see, now he gets out. Now he sees the first down marker, and he dives to get it.
Another Philadelphia first down there, 5th. Cunningham will throw on first down. Looks deep. He's got a man open. Touchdown, Michael Quick.
Michael Quick beat Darrell Green in man-to coverage, and he beats him right now. Watch Green out there. Green has to hit him. He misses the jam right there. Look, Quick has him beat all the way. All he has to do is keep running straight up the field. Perfect throw. I tell you, when Green gets up there like that, if you don't bump a guy like Quick, you're not going to be able to get him. He missed the bump, and Quick is a dangerous, dangerous receiver.
Paul McFadden on for the extra point now for Philadelphia. Mike Quick with 9 touchdowns a year ago gets his first, and the Eagles' first of 87. And McFadden has authored the extra point. Cunningham to Quick for 30 yards. And Philadelphia, despite a sputtering first quarter start, is right back in the thick of things with just 2 seconds under 11 minutes to go, first half. Just under 11 minutes to go, first half. The Eagles go 68 yards in just under 3 minutes. Cunningham to Mike Quick, and Paul McFadden is on to kick it deep to either Keith Griffin or Timmy Smith. Onside kick. Ball is loose. Eagles have it at the 50. Well, they pulled one out of the hat.
That's a Buddy Ryan. He's going to go for it. You don't want to just sit around and watch things happen. You want to make them happen. That's a good time to try it. You've been down. Things haven't gone. You finally get a score. Now come back and try it. The Redskins are going back into a return. You surprise them. It's not the end of the game, the end of the half. You get it, they hit it. You kick it around a while. Your guy jumps on it. You get it back at midfield right after a touchdown.
That's a rookie, Bobby Morse, who came up with it after one of the Redskins had a shot and couldn't hang on, and the Eagles have it trailing by 3, 10-7.
I like that type of attitude, though. I think with a young team, you have to try something early to help your team win.
Philadelphia throwing on first down again and going deep into zone coverage. Bowles is back. Todd Bowles makes the interception.
That's where Todd Bowles was supposed to be. You see, he got back there, and he was looking for the deep one. And I'm sure what happened is they told him, look what happened in this one. Here, he didn't get over. There's Darrell Green. Mike Quick gets the touchdown because Bowles doesn't get over to help him. See him? He's there. He has the interception that time. The play before was a touchdown. Now watch what happened here. He's here. He goes too flat, and Quick gets by him. So they talked about that on the sideline. Now watch him here. He's in the middle. Now watch, he goes too flat there, and Quick gets behind both of them. So I'm sure they were as mad at Bowles as they were at Green.
Sometimes it's not what it initially appears. Now Bowles, as Cunningham tried to go deep, and Doug Williams pumped once, he'll go deep. Flag is down. We're going to have an illegal contact. I don't think the ball was in the air, so I don't believe it's going to be pass interference, but that'll be against the Eagles.
I think it's going to be right there against William Frizzell. He was right up on Clark, and I think he did something right off the bat on the line.
Holding number 33, defense, first down.
Something like holding him.
Yes. That's Dick Jorgensen, the official, the referee.
The coach said, hold him up. Frizzell thought he meant hold him. Grab him. Is that how you want me to hold him up? He just grabbed him. I tell you, that's something. It seems like he's always has his shirt out.
Reggie
Here's
White is back in the lineup. Gets by Ed Simmons and then makes the contact. First down, Redskins. Williams fires at Gary Clark. First down, Washington at the 27-yard line. William Frizzell made the tackle.
You know, Gary Clark, as I said, I think is a heck of a receiver, but he never looks like his uniform fits. You know, like his first year, you say, well, he got a bad uniform. He's in his third year, and look at that arm pad. I mean, he's got that off the shelf. I think the last guy that wore that was one of those old Redskin defensive linemen. It doesn't even stay in his arm. Someone like Talbert or something.
Arm pad's too big. George Rogers on the first down play. Our score is 10-7. Elsewhere, Pittsburgh leads San Francisco early second quarter. Tampa Bay over Atlanta 14-3. Buffalo with an early lead over the Jets of 7-0. Russ Grimm is the injured player, by the way, for the Redskins. Minnesota and Detroit tied. Dallas and St. Louis now 3-3. Roger Ruzek is the new place kicker for the Cowboys. Russ Grimm, the injured Redskin.
Looks like they're going to take him out. They already put Jeff Bostic in. The reason Grimm is playing center and the reason he's moved from guard to center is the Redskins felt that to play the Giants they need a bigger center to handle Jim Burt, to be able to run. So they moved Grimm from left guard to center.
And he's done a pretty good job there, hasn't he?
Yes, and Joe Gibbs was saying one thing, he got through the whole preseason without an injury. Every other year he would get an injury. So now he gets it in the first regular season game.
He would be the third Redskin injured in the game.
Well, let's watch him here. He's right in the middle of the screen. And I think it's going to be one of those things where someone's going to fall on the back of his leg. Yeah, you can see it right there. The tackler and the ball carrier falling on the back of his leg.
Grimm joins Jay Schroeder and Jess Atkinson on the injured list in this game. And they came in with a long list. That's become almost a litany in the National Football League. You lead off the telecast with the injury list.
I think it's an epidemic. I really do. I think that's the biggest problem facing the NFL right now. What do you do about injuries?
Second down and 6. Eagles adjust their defense. Terry Hogue comes in. Kelvin Bryant comes to the short side of the field and is caught for no gain at the 30-yard line. We're at RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C., the 159th consecutive sellout of a Redskin game. Tickets here are a little tough to come by as the Redskins lead Philadelphia 10-7 with 9:15 to go first half of play. Verne Lundquist along with John Madden. What'd you read where some lady had applied for season tickets and when was she going to get them?
It would take like 320 years or something at the rate you get them. So if like a baby was born today, the baby will get it when it's like 300 years old.
Third down. Williams, flag down, maybe a holding call, and Kelvin Bryant drops his second pass in the first half.
You know, that's what you get for not practicing. Kelvin Bryant has been injured the whole spring, too. You know, the whole training camp for most of us. In fact, the other day, Wednesday...
Illegal hands, jammed to the face, number 69, offense, decline, 4th down.
But anyway, he hurt himself the other day. He hurt his calf, so he hasn't had a lot of practice.
That was R.C. Thielman with the illegal hands jammed to the face. And now Greg Garrity comes on to await the punt of Steve Cox. Good average a year ago. Former Arkansas punter. That's not a good kick. Garrity will let it bounce and then run out of the way of the ball, which comes to a rest at the 32. Russ Grimm has joined Jay Schroeder and Jess Atkinson on the injured list for the Redskins. Washington leads by 3 with 8:36 to go in the first half. That'll be the second game of our doubleheader. Early on, most of you will see Tampa Bay at Chicago or Washington versus Atlanta. The Eagles are at home against New Orleans, and San Francisco visits Cincinnati. It begins with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern Time next week. First down 10 Eagles. They've got the ball and trail by 3. This time they run it on first down. Michael Haddix gains just a couple. Our score 10-7. Now let's go back to our New York studios and Brent Musburger for this update.
Verne and John, we've got an upset brewing in Pittsburgh. The Steelers have shut down Joe Montana so far, and Mark Malone throws his touchdown pass to Gothard, and they lead the 49ers 14-3. Back to Verne and John.
John, that surprises you that much, does it?
Well, we had Pittsburgh last week, and they looked good. And I always said that a running quarterback is as dangerous as you can get, especially early in the season.
Here's Haddix in a little swing pass from a running quarterback, Randall Cunningham. Rich Malott makes the tackle. That's good for another Philadelphia first down. The Eagles looked so unorganized in that first quarter, and here they are almost dominating now.
I think what it was, it's just a young team, and I think instead of not being ready, you're too ready. And you're too excited, and that you're too tense. Then I think they took that first quarter, then they calmed down. Now, I think when they calm down a little, you get a little tired. Now they seem to have a flow about them on offense.
Speaking of those who have calmed down, Buddy Ryan has in his second year. First and 10 Eagles. Play fake by Cunningham. Pumps it once. He's got a release valve. Junior Cardinal Tossing. Second-year man out of Washington State, who was a backup to Reuben Mays, and that's another Eagle first down at the 34.
There's one of Buddy Ryan's favorite players right there, Todd Latossi.
Russ Grimm strained back. That's S-T-R-A-I-N-E-D. He will not return. So Schroeder on the bench, might be back. Atkinson is out with a dislocated ankle, and Russ Grimm is out. The Eagles trail by 3 with 7:17 to go. First down at the Washington 34. Haddix to the 31-yard line. Rich Malott filling in at middle, and Dexter Manley has been reduced to a role of cheerleader today. Before the preseason even began, he suffered a partial tear in his knee. Detroit leads Minnesota and has not played. They thought he would play today, though, on passing downs. He has not. Second down and 7. Juan Johnson, wide right. Cunningham across the middle. Spagnuolo, the tight end, at the 26-yard line. Jerry Theory almost gets into it with one of the Redskin linebackers.
You know, the interesting thing about that play is this offensive line of the Eagles has been much maligned, but they have their pass protection pretty much under control. On this play, watch Cunningham. He's going to look for 3 receivers. Look, he looks outside. Now he's going to come off to another one. See that? Then he finally hits the 3rd guy.
Only 1 sack allowed by the Eagle offense thus far. 3rd and 2, 5:47 to go, first half. Cunningham is 8 out of 10. Pulls up, drills it, tipped away, incomplete. Barry Wilburn, nice play. He has been the subject of a lot of criticism here.
That's the old college play where Cunningham is going to sprint, where he sprinted to the left, and it was a throwback, but Wilburn is in man-to-man, and they sprint. You see that fake? Now watch him come out here to the left. Now he's going to throw back to his right. That had no effect at all on Barry Wilburn, because he was just playing good man-to-man coverage.
Paul McFadden will try and tie it up from 43 yards out. Had an off season in '86. It's a good start in '87. McFadden ties it up at 10 with 5:32 to go, first half.
You wonder why Joe Gibbs was worried, why he's nervous. Because, you know, in the opener, you just don't know what this year's team is. You know last year, but you don't know. You don't know your opponent. What are the Eagles this year? I'll tell you, one of the reasons Buddy Ryan has calmed down, because now these are his guys. When he first came in, they were someone else's guy, and he got on him. I remember when he got on Haddix in the first rookie camp, and he said he looks like a overweight reject guard from the USFL. Now he's a starting fullback, and he's a banger in there. I mean, he's playing like a real fullback today. That's what Buddy gets out of you.
Look at the turnaround for the Eagles in the second quarter. 110 yards, and Washington has been held to 17.
I think one of the things, as I said, they got their pass protection down. They're giving Cunningham a little time, and they're getting some running going. The best friend of a quarterback is a running game. If a quarterback can run, if the team can run, then he feels very comfortable. Plus, I'll tell you, this is a tough day for these big guys.
John Pilchick kicks it off because McFadden has been very short on his kickoffs, and that one Pilchick is as well. It's counterpunched out across the 35 near the 38-yard line. Keith Griffin, number 35.
Now I think the Redskins have to do what the Eagles had to do. They have to get it back. They have to take over. They have to get some momentum. They have to start giving some protection. They have to start getting some running game going, those types of things.
Doug Williams is on in place of the injured Jay Schroeder. Schroeder tackled by Reggie White in the first quarter on the bench with a sprained shoulder. But we are told he might come back. First down and 10. Williams so far 6 out of 10 for 48 yards. Stunts by the defensive line. Williams is hit as he lets it go. And the hit is made by Reggie White.
That's an interesting thing. That's a matchup we talked about. That's Ed Simmons, 76, blocking Reggie White. And he really doesn't have any help. It's man-to-man. He gives him a pretty good battle, but if Reggie White is going and Ed Simmons is going, Reggie White wins that battle every time. I think they have to do something. They have to get another guy to help Simmons out there, because he can't do it man-to-man against this guy. I don't know that anyone can.
I don't either. Simmons, a first-year player, a rookie out of Eastern Washington. Second down and 10. That's where Mark May, by the way, was the starter until last week when he went on the injured list. That's incomplete behind the intended receiver as the pressure was applied once again. Reggie White.
But it wasn't on Ed Simmons that time. He comes over the center, and it ends up being on Thielman, R.C. Thielman, 69. See him there? He's over the middle. He's fighting Thielman. He's fighting Bostic. Gets by him and gets in there just as he throws the ball.
Amazing how many coaches now say he's the best they've ever seen. I mean, we've heard it from Bill Parcells, from Joe Gibbs, talking about Reggie White.
I know, and we've heard it from Buddy Ryan. But he said, I said, how about all those other guys you coached? He said, well, this guy is going to be. He said he has more tools than any of them.
3rd and 10, Washington in a 10-10 ball game. Williams comes left, being chased by Jerome Brown. Incomplete. Terry Hogue diving for it for Philadelphia after Elbert Fowles was defending the pass intended for Gary Clark.
Well, they got some help on Reggie White that day. One thing, of course, the pass wasn't cleared, but Doug Williams rolled away from him. And even though they rolled away from him, they still double-teamed him. They had Kelvin Bryant help Ed Simmons on that play.
Steve Cox on to punt. Greg Garrity waits for it at the 16-yard line. 3rd punt for Cox in the ballgame. 5:06 to go. almost a complete reversal of form here in the second quarter. Great kick. Sky high. And a fair catch called by Garrity at the 11. 49 yards with a terrific hang time. That was up around 5 seconds.
You know, one day we talk about Reggie White, and that's what the Redskins will talk about now on the sideline. But he doesn't just line up on one thing. So you have to have different plans for different things. You know, in that last play, as I said, I think that's a pretty good idea. You roll away from him, and even though you roll away from him, you double him as they did.
First down and 10, Philadelphia. Just under 5 minutes to go, first half. We're tied at 10. Latossi and Haddix are the running backs. Haven't seen that much of Anthony Coney. Play fake, quick opener up the middle. Junior Latossi. And Mel Kaufman saves an even larger gain. Little quick trap play.
Remember a year ago, we did this first game. Latossi was a rookie, and he started this game. I think if Buddy Ryan had to pick a favorite offensive player, he probably wouldn't do it. But if he did, it would be Latossi. He just loves that guy. And the reason he says he doesn't play more is he doesn't want to wear him down because he's a big play guy, and he needs him for big plays.
He is second down and 1. 10-10 game. Latossi drives for the first down and should have it at the 25. Doug Williams talking upstairs. Trying to solve the puzzles presented by the Eagle defense as John Spagnuolo comes back on. First and 10. Cunningham has shown a proclivity for throwing on first down. He is 8 of 11 in the game for an even 100 yards. See what he has in mind on his own 25. Motion flags. He'll throw on first down. He hits Spagnuolo. If the play stands, that's good for a gain of 9.
I think it'll stand. I think it was Dave Butts jumped. And when Dave Butts jumps, he just can't get back.
The earth shakes.
Yeah, I mean, you get a guy going, and he gets that stuff going forward. He can't get it going backwards. Look, he knows it. Look at him stand there.
Number 65, defense, decline. Second down.
See, a guy like that, you know, you can't jump back. I mean, it's like a truck rolling downhill and you say, slow up. You can't do that.
Look at that, 27-3, and the Jets and Buffalo are tied at 7. Miami leads New England. That's an upset at the making. Second down and 1, 10-10 ball game here. 3:28 to go before halftime. Right side, big hole. And Michael Haddix is looking very good today, John.
He is. He's banging that ball in there. I mean, for an overweight recheck guard, he looks like a fullback. Watch Dave Butts. He does a good job on his guy, but Haddix runs right by him. He didn't see him. And the first guy there is the safety, Alvin Walton. But Haddix looks a lot quicker. You know, I mean, he looks slower and more of a blocking type. But today, he looks more of a slasher.
Ed Wisniewski of the Eagles public relations director told us his best game he's ever played was his first as a rookie 5 years ago. Played well this afternoon. Play fake. Cunningham deep into zone coverage. Kenny Jackson was tripped. No flag. Incidental contact at the 5. Barry Wilburn and Todd Bowles were back there.
But Todd Bowles is back there now. Remember, he was back there the last time he got the interception. But the first time, he wasn't back there, and Mike Quick got the touchdown. So that's not a bad move. Something happens, and you have to go back, check it again. Is it still there? And you go back, let's try it again. It may be there again. Now they find that it's not. Todd Bowles is getting deep, so they're going to have to do something in front of him.
That brings up a second down and 10. Washington has become inept offensively. And the Eagles have exploded, and they have scored 10 unanswered points to tie it up. 2.5 to go before halftime. That was a messed up play. Dean Hamill, who just replaced Dave Butts on the previous play. Tasmanian Devil makes the tackle.
And you know, it could have very well been an audible because the guy who was complaining, the guy who was saying it was his fault, was Randall Cunningham. What happens, see, is he turns the wrong way. And then he just has to pitch it out. And watch Hamill there. He doesn't even get blocked. Watch Cunningham there. See him hit his head? He knew that whatever it was, he fouled up either the audible or his play.
2-minute warning, and Dexter Manley has made his first appearance in the ballgame. On a third down play, 3rd and 12. But first, we're going to take 1 minute at the 2-minute warning. Dexter Manley went in on the third down play, waved to the crowd, got them fired up, and then came out. So he's back on the sideline. 3rd down and 12. Eagles from their own 48-yard line, out of the spread. Alvin Walton starts to creep up into your picture now at the right side. See what Philadelphia or Washington has in mind. They send 6, and Cunningham, that's where he is so dangerous. And he overthrows Mike Quick, who had to jump a little early. Steve Hamilton, number 64, had the pressure on Randall Cunningham.
You know, that's still their problem with the Eagles, is that 1st and 2nd down. You know, they had that there was 3rd and 12. They've been averaging on 3rd down 11 yards to go. So that means that in 1st and 2nd, they're picking up -1. And that puts a lot of pressure on a young team.
John Telchik on to punt, and Eric Yarber, number 80, waits for it at 15. Fake. Good. William Frizzell, the free safety. And on the Redskin bench, they noticed it was a fake and started waving.
There's a flag out there, Verne. Maybe it was an illegal formation.
A 37-yard gain might be wiped out.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 33 came on the field, off the bench. It's a hideout play, 15 yards.
Now watch Buddy Ryan.
Well, he says that hideout play. Let's watch it. It's going to be right here on the side. That's where he's going to come in. We don't see how he got there, but you see there's no one covering him out there. So the thing is he can't come off the sideline. He really has to come from the huddle and then go out there. He can't come from the sideline and go out there.
I've seen that in a lot of college games, but I haven't seen it in the NFL in a long, long time. He's on the sideline here, Johnson.
Right here. He's not here. So here's where he's going to come, but look, he's not there yet. There's no guy. Now you're going to see him. You see he's come right behind the official, right in front of the official. Now he's out there. Now there's a guy.
Telchik again, running for it. And knocked out of bounds. Gang tackled at the 36-yard line.
Hey, Buddy Ryan pulled out the place. He got an onside kick. Then he had a punt pass. And this one, you have to believe, wasn't organized. Although he could have kicked that ball, I think he was supposed to kick that one. Then he runs. Now he still wants to pass. I don't think he wanted that play.
I don't either.
He wanted the onside kick, I think, and he wanted that first one, but not that one.
1:36 to go in the half. I can't imagine following up a fake punt with a fake punt. Timeout has been called by the Redskins. 96 seconds to go first half. They only had 10 men on the field. 1:36 to go. Don't hide from me. Come on.
I don't know where it is. I don't know where the ball. I don't know how to get. I don't know where to go.
I never knew you were shy.
No, I don't know where the thing is.
In the end zone. We've got 1:36 to go in the half, and here's Williams going deep. Caught. Calvin Bryant, first and goal at the 3. Didn't drop that one.
There's the big play they're looking for from Calvin Bryant. Doug Williams watched him all the way. He knew who his receiver was. Now he wants to go to the hurry-up offense. No huddle. Line up on the ball. When you can't get them lined up, they have to take a timeout.
Glenn Dennison, the newest of the Redskins, had to hurry on the field. Look at the last play.
Watch Doug Williams come back. He's looking to his right. Then he looks the safety off. And he finds going right up the numbers is Calvin Bryant. Calvin Bryant, as a running back, is more valuable as a receiver than he is running the ball.
Jay Schroeder joins the huddle. Washington now out of timeouts with 68 seconds to go. Go back after that sequence. Really might have turned things around for the Redskins. They got some spark now in the last 2 minutes after the Eagles had a 37-yard gain on the fake punt with Frizzell sneaking on the field.
Well, if that play works, then this guy is a genius because he has a big play. When it doesn't work, then that second one I don't believe he tried to do. Now that turns the momentum around. Now Doug Williams finds a big play to Calvin Bryant, and instead of the Eagles going in for a score, the Redskins are.
Buddy Ryan said in the Philadelphia newspapers and television stations earlier this week, we have some surprises in store. True.
Well, and two of them worked. I mean, the thing was illegal. You can't hide a guy, but the onside kick worked.
First and goal from the 4. 10-10 ball game. 1:08 to go before halftime. Williams goes to his short receiver, the tight end, Don Warren. And Seth Joyner makes the tackle.
The Redskins don't have any timeouts, but they have plenty of time. I mean, all they have to do is either throw it in the end zone or an incomplete pass.
Second down and goal. From the 2, Williams. Oh, boy! Flag is down, and so is William Frizzell, who almost had the interception. Holding. Philadelphia.
Holding. Number 33. Defense. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
That's Frizzell's second holding penalty. He's playing his first game as a corner. He was a safety. Moved out to corner. Of course, Roynell Young is holding out. Hasn't signed yet. See if we can see if he holds. That looked pretty good there. It must have been before. Well, it had to be before the ball was in the air, or it'd be pass interference anyway. It had to be right on the line of scrimmage.
Frizzell can't hide. Snuck on the field from the fake punt. 2 holding calls. First and goal. Nope. Touchdown. I got it. George Rogers.
Ball across the goal line, broke the plane, and then brought it back. Watch it now. The ball has to break the plane of the goal line. It hasn't yet. Now right there it does, and then he brings it back inside. Once it breaks the plane, it's a touchdown.
Pretty nifty play by Rogers. Steve Cox will try the extra point in place of Jess Atkinson. And if you joined us late, Atkinson's out with a dislocated ankle. It happened on the last extra point.
I think George Rogers hurt his hand on that play, bringing that ball back.
Jay Schroeder is on to hold, and there is Rogers on the sideline, holding his ribs. Cox's kick is up and good. Back-to-back fake punts by the Eagles proved costly. The first wiped out by a penalty. The second unsuccessful. Washington gets it, goes in.
That was a good effort of breaking the plane there, because now it's a touchdown. What happens after that doesn't make any difference, but in that effort of getting that ball over there, it could have hurt the shoulder, the arm, the wrist, or something on that side, because you can see he's still in pain from it.
How controversial would that call be in the championship game?
No, that wouldn't be controversial. The only controversy would be was before the plane broke, was his knee down.
Okay.
But other than that, that's always a touchdown.
17-10. They're back.
Those Hogettes, they look like they lost weight, though. They're too skinny. The Hogettes are getting skinny on us. They gotta beef up. Beef up. Get some fats in your diet.
Evan Cooper and Junior Tom Latosier. Squib kick. That's an awesome sight. first kickoff return in the NFL. Reggie Branch made the tackle. And Rodgers is hopeful he doesn't join the growing injury list of the Redskins.
I bet his toe doesn't hurt anymore. You ever notice that if you have an injury or something and you get another one, then the other one you had before doesn't hurt?
Oh, insignificant. Looks like it might be his ribs. 15 yards on 7 carries so far. 35 seconds remaining in the half. 17-10, Washington. Mike Quick, the motion. Shovel pass, Junior Cunningham from the 40-yard line. Dave Butts is back in, and he made the tackle. Eagles call timeout. Russ Grimm is going to limp back into the locker room.
Boy, that's a shot of an old warrior going down a tunnel. Oh.
Speaking of
old warriors, yeah, there's a story in the paper that the Redskins want a new stadium. The owner, Jack Kent Cook, and he wants an indoor, I heard an indoor stadium. The Redskins cannot play indoors. I mean, how can you see Butts? How can this guy play indoors? Oh, these guys agree with me. No dome, no fake grass. Domes and fake grasses, really, I agree with this. They don't go with Redskins. They don't go. I mean, this is football. Grass, guys, dirt.
We didn't have as much rain as we needed, though. We were going to get a little mud.
I know it. But, I mean, how can hogs play inside? Hogs don't play inside.
Cats do. Cunningham with a screen pass. Don Latossi, it's incomplete. Charles Mann was right in Randall Cunningham's face.
You know there's never been a team that has an indoor stadium that's ever been in the Super Bowl? Never. I mean, they've never won. They've never been there.
I think that's why they've never been there. Does mediocre talent have something to do with it?
No, I think it's one of the reasons. I think they didn't make the game. They didn't, like the Vikings had been to the Super Bowl, right? So they had talent. Then they build a roof over their joint, and they don't go back. They don't go there anymore.
3rd and 5. Michael Haddix. That's good for the first down near the 47. And the Eagles call timeout. Now Darrell Grant limps down toward the locker room.
I'll tell you one thing. I think the Eagles have come in this first half and given the Redskins a lot more battle than they thought they were going to get.
There's a Bubba.
Well, those hogettes ought to be down there getting some of this stuff in them. Sinkers, stuff that you get in there. You see those pretzels there? Those big things, they're sinkers. I mean, you eat one of those and whap, it sinks right down in there where it belongs. That's what Santa Claus does to those guys.
Mustache doesn't work. Brent and Dick Vermeil coming up with scores and highlights at halftime as week number 1 in the 1987 season gets underway.
They're going to have a lot of interesting scores and highlights. With Tampa Bay, who would have thought?
Hey, Steve DeBerg has thrown for 4 touchdown passes.
He's the guy that's capable of it, then he always gets beat out. He was there, Montana comes and beats him out. They send him to Denver, Elway comes and beats him out. They send him to Tampa, Steve Young, and now it's DeBerg.
Could be the final play of the half. Cunningham, right side for Quick. Dances on the sideline, makes a nice catch, and there are 3 seconds left. Buddy Ryan approves of that timing play.
Well, but what do you do here? It would be a 57-yard field goal. Well, that's what they're going to do. I got the answer already. I see the kicker run out.
They might try a fake.
Well, the way Buddy Ryan's been going today in his kicking game, that's a possibility. I don't know that a barefoot guy can kick a football 57 yards.
I got one for you. Franklin. Tony Franklin.
I don't know that this guy can.
McFadden, 57 yards. High snap, that won't get there. There's the answer. Buddy was helping it.
He's trying. Best he had to pull it back a little.
So it's halftime. in 17. Brent and Dick Vermeil coming up in just a second.
U.S. Open if it dries up. I'm here with Dick Vermeil. We want to check the scoreboard. The theme on week one, unfortunately, it is one of injuries, and kickers have been affected. Reggie Rober, the Miami punter, a bad snap. He tries to scramble out. The right leg and foot is crushed. He has gone to a hospital for x-rays. Those of you who are watching the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles, especially Redskin fans, know that the Skins may have lost Jess Atkinson for the season. We still do not know. He, too, has gone for x-rays. Now, the injury to the quarterback, Jay Schroeder. What about Reggie White and his abilities, Dick?
Well, he's the most devastating defensive football player in the NFL right now. You can't block him one-on-one. You can see him here coming on the quarterback. Jay Schroeder will not be his only victim.
How good is Doug Williams as a backup quarterback?
I think he's an excellent backup. He's a starter, really. What he just needs is playing time, and he's going to get it.
Dick, does Randall Cunningham have the patience to stay in the pocket like he does here?
Much better now than he was last year. I saw him all 4 preseason games. He can do this more often.
What do you think overall as George Rogers powers in? Can the Eagles come back in the second half, or do the Skins have too much talent?
I saw them play real good defense a couple times. I saw them play terrible defense a couple times. It depends which personality they play with the second half.
All right, a 7-point difference right now at the half. Elsewhere, an upset. The Steelers all over Joe Montana in the first half. 17-3. Steelers over the 49ers. The Saints, as Dick Vermeil predicted, hanging tough against the favored Browns right now at the half. Indianapolis likewise hanging tough against the favored Bengals. They were down by 13 points in that game. The Rams over Houston, 13-3. And it was a tremendous defensive effort here by Kevin Green. Stays with it and goes in to complete the 40-yard interception return for the touchdown. And the Rams lead the Oilers 13-3. Tampa Bay, 4 touchdown passes by Steve DeBerg. 27-3 over the Falcons. What a luxury DeBerg is for a coach, Dick.
Well, he's been there a number of years. He's been successful, too. Not always at Tampa Bay, of course, San Francisco prior to that. But he gets 4 touchdown passes against a good defensive coach like Marion Campbell. Tampa Bay's got something going.
He's got a book to write. Great quarterbacks out there.
Everybody's writing
like John Elway. 27-3 with Vinny Testaverde watching for the sideline. Jets in Buffalo. Jets lead at 14-7. Ken O'Brien must be early in the season. He's on fire again. 2 touchdown passes already. One of them 55 yards to Walker. Dan Marino, the best quarterback in professional football right now, and perhaps as fine a quarterback as we've ever seen. Folks, this is a driving rainstorm, and he leads the Patriots with 3 touchdown passes right now, 21-14. Marino over the Patriots. Who's punting? Backup quarterback Dan Strock for Don Shula right now. Kansas City, San Diego, 10-0. Chiefs with a lead on the Chargers in that game. Detroit and Minnesota. Turnovers have plagued quarterback Wade Wilson. He has thrown 3 interceptions. Galloway with 2 of them for the Lions, Dick.
Dwayne Galloway picks this one off and takes it in for a touchdown. Here he goes. Defensive backs green. Turn it into a big TD. He's just a little guy, 5'8".
The Lions doing a great job in that game. Dallas and St. Louis, and the Cowboys break in a new field goal specialist, Ruzak. He has kicked 2, and they lead the Cardinals 6-3. They are at the half. And we'll continue with the NFL today on CBS after these messages from your local stations.
Halftime at RFK Stadium with the Redskins a late first half touchdown to break a 10-10 tie. They have gone up by 7 in what has been thus far a better entertaining game, John. And Doug Williams, one of the big stories for the Redskins, having to come on for Jay Schroeder.
Well, I think that's why that backup quarterback is so important, because he always has to be ready, but you never know when you're going to need him.
How has he done in your estimation?
Well, I think that they've both done well. You know, that they've gotten things under control. I think the first quarter, I think the Eagles really weren't sure. They were kind of off things. And then I think they came back. We see what Doug Williams is throwing, that shorter pass. Maybe a shorter pass than Jay Schroeder would. You see, in the passing by distance from 1 to 10, he's 7 out of 9. Then from 11 to 20, he's 0 for 3. And then over 20, he's only thrown 3 more passes. So when he's doing it, he's in that shorter area. And then we look at Randall Cunningham, and we see his stats are about the same. See, in that short area, he's 8 out of 9. So they're working that short game. Then he's had some success. That 1-for-1, of course, was the big one to Mike Quick. He tried to go there 2 more times. 1 was intercepted.
Well, it was a first half of contrast, and the decisive factor right now has been the back-to-back fake punts that Buddy Ryan called.
Well, when you do that, I don't know that he called the second one, Verne. I think the first one he called, it was a wrong rule. You can't do that. There was 10 guys in the field, one guy sneaks in. That's illegal. Unsportsmanlike conduct. The guy has to be in the huddle and come from the huddle. But I think the onside kick was a good move. The play was probably a pretty good move if it works.
Well, it did not, and as a result, Philadelphia trails, but only by 7. CBS Sports coverage of the NFL will continue after this message and a word from your local station. 53,000 plus gathered on a muggy, overcast day. Their Redskins are on top of the Eagles 17-10 at the half. A year ago, Jay Schroeder threw every pass save one in regular season and playoffs, but that is not going to be the case in 87. This was the action in the first quarter of play. Schroeder, after he lets the ball go, tackled by Reggie White, and he went to the bench with a sprained right shoulder, and we are told that he might be back or could be back if it's necessary. Doug Williams, it's expected, will be back in for the first offensive series, and Williams seeing his first action really in a couple of years. 8 of 15 in the first half for 84 yards. Redskins will get the ball to open the third quarter, and they have a 7-point lead at 17-10. There's John Tilchik. Been more of a factor in this game and the game analysis than he might have envisioned this morning. And now getting set to kick off. It was McFadden who kicked the onside kick in the second quarter. And here's Tilchik's fairly short boot. Griffin bobbles it, picks it up at the 10, and then pays the price at the 17.
It'll be interesting to watch Ed Simmons, the rookie right tackle, play now and see what, if any, adjustments the Redskins have made to give him a little more help, maybe, and blocking Reggie White over there. Or maybe he has Reggie White under control. You talk about nervous. A rookie starting his first game at home has to be about as nervous as you get.
Out of Eastern Washington. He wears number 76, and he is starting in place of Mark May, 6th round draft choice. Doug Williams with a 3-wide receiver set. Into the flat, incomplete. Pretty good diagnosis of the play by Elbert Fowles as the pass was intended for Ricky Sanders. Fowles was right there.
Watch Reggie White, how strong he is. He lines up over the center on his play. And watch what he does to Bostic. He just brings him right back in the backfield. Watch how strong and quick. See, he gets him up. Bostic, he just puts him on skates. He's right there in front of Williams. That's why the Redskins needed another center, a bigger center, because that happens too much.
This time, White is lined up at left end, and Simmons will be his offensive counterpart. 2nd and 10. Left side. Keith Griffin, 5'8", 185, comes left. So we might not see George Rogers again in this half. Rogers, after the touchdown, went to the bench with injured ribs. And Kelvin Bryant comes in on the passing down.
That's one thing we talked about earlier, that the Redskins have depth there. They have George Rogers, if they're all healthy. Then they have Kelvin Bryant. Then they could bring in a Keith Griffin. They have a rookie, Timmy Smith, who did a great job in the preseason.
3rd and 4. The official word from the bench, George Rogers with a bruised shoulder will not be back in the game. And Darrell Grant is out with a calf muscle. He will not be back with a full calf muscle. Williams, that pass is tipped away. Intended for Art Monk on the right side.
And Williams is getting in a fight with Andre Waters. You don't see that often where the quarterback and the safety start fighting each other. Look at Doug Williams. He's still going after Waters.
Feisty after inactivity.
Watch it right here. We'll see what happened. There's Waters. See him. He went for his leg. He hit him after he threw the ball. Now watch Williams when he gets up. She gives him the old finger in the face. Waters said, "I'm not taking that from you." Quarterbacks usually don't get physical like grab jerseys and stuff.
Not at all. Here's Cox's punt. Fair catch called by Garrity. It takes a Redskin roll and scoots out of bounds at the 22.5-yard line. 43 yards on the punt. Indianapolis has gone on top of Cincinnati. And Detroit has extended its lead over Minnesota to 9 now. Our score 17-10, 13:48 to go, third quarter. Redskins have been decimated by injuries in this game. Schroeder out, Rogers out, Grant now comes out of play. We were told he would not be back in the game, but he was then.
Well, they forgot to tell him.
Yeah.
The trainers, the coaches all talk, well, Grant can't play. No one told Grant.
First and 10. Kenny Jackson, the motion man. They hand it to Haddix, who shakes an arm tackle and bowls forward for a gain of 5. Monty Coleman makes the stop, number 51.
You know, it's interesting. I wonder if something happened to Anthony Toney, because he was the big runner in the preseason and maybe one of the big surprises to the Eagles, the starting running back, and he hasn't played. It's been mostly Haddix, and then Toddle-Latoshi's been playing.
Had a fumble in the first quarter. There's Toney, number 25, out of Texas A&M.
So you think maybe just being disciplined?
I think so.
Punished? A bad grade deportment.
That was Toddle-Latossi, who has taken Toney's place, and Charles Mann puts the stop to it.
I never knew what that meant. I remember in grammar school at deportment. I never did real good in deportment, and I didn't know what it meant.
I used to always get C's in it.
Yeah, deportment is how you act, I think.
And that would always lead to a conference with my mother and father.
But, you know, you never knew what it meant. I mean, what do you do to deport bad or deport good?
John, it was the pigtails in the inkwell. They'll get you for it every time. 3rd and 5 from the 28. Out of the shotgun, pressure coming from Charles Mann. And Steve Hamilton and Mann got there first. That is the second sack the Eagles have allowed today.
It looks like Mann is just coming here from the, he's coming from this side, but he just runs right through here right now. He gets off the thing. Watch him. He just goes right up outside Conwell. He just beats him with speed. I mean, there's nothing special there. He just ran right by him.
John Telchik back to punt on 4th down. Eric Yarber waits for it at the 40 of the Redskins. That is an excellent kick. And Yarber makes the catch, hits his own teammate, bounces out of one tackle into another, and is down at the 42-yard line. Hang time of 4.8. Terry Hogue downfield to make the tackle on the 43-yard punt. 12:03 to go, third quarter. 1st and 10, Washington. 12:03 to go, third quarter. They lead 17-10. Doug Williams playing in place of the injured Jay Schroeder. Fakes the draw play and looks deep in man coverage. And Sanders down there over Frizzell. And Sanders has the ball and is down at the 1-yard line.
Over, and it just went right through his hands. That's not, he'll get blamed for that, but that's pretty good coverage. And he didn't have a safety. He didn't have any help at all. And the ball went right through his hand and into Ricky Sanders' hand.
That is a gain of 57 yards. And a 1st and goal, Redskins at the 1.
That shows two things. You have a guy that can throw it a long way in Doug Williams. The guy can run fast and get under Sanders.
Without George Rogers, Redskins in the goal line offense. Touchdown. Reggie Branch out of East Carolina.
His lead blocker is Donnie Warren. Look at the movement Warren gets on his man, gets that thing in the backfield, then Reggie Branch can just get right in behind him and find a soft spot behind R.C. Tillman.
Steve Cox in place of the injured Jess Atkinson on to try the extra point.
speed. Now watch what Warren does. See, he gets it moving, and then Branch can just cut in right behind it.
Reggie Branch in his third year now, once a free agent. Doug Williams had the big play. Well, he's got to be thrilled with the way things are going after that year of inactivity.
Now, players want to play, and the toughest thing is sitting there in the bench, and everyone's happy when you win, and you want to be happy because you won, but what you do?
58 yards in 2 plays. It was Williams to Sanders for 57.
That was a great throw and a great catch, and the coverage really wasn't bad. I mean, Frizzell was right there and just had his hands out too wide. But that'll make a coach relax, start writing down some stuff for the next time they get the ball.
Forget about eating. Cox. Evan Cooper from Michigan will drop to one knee. It'll be a touchback. Comes out to the 20. Reggie Branch, one of the specialists on special teams, having scored the touchdown, was down there, and Kelvin Bryant and Steve Cox.
Well, Reggie Branch is one of the best specialists. He's not only one of the best cover guys on this team, but he's one of the best cover guys in the league. I mean, he's one of those guys who launches himself down there.
All Madden potential?
Well, yeah, he has a good shot at it. He really does. I've always said that special teams breed fanaticism.
Nietzsche, 1743. Tackle made by Rich Malott.
That pass, that play, that drive by the Redskins really puts a lot of pressure on a young Eagle team, because it's a lot easier when the score is close or when you're down 1. When you're down 2, that hill just becomes steeper on you.
2nd and 6 for Cunningham. Haddix now with 45 yards. Randall Cunningham 11 of 17. Quick pitch to Haddix. It's a terrific block from Tom Latossi and pushes it out near the 30-yard line. That'll be short of the first down. Rich Malott and Todd Bowles make the tackle.
You know, I still wonder what it is with Anthony Toney. Everyone was so high on him. He'd been a fullback. He was going to start his first game in regular season as a halfback. Then the best guy, you know, during the preseason. And now the game starts, and he doesn't play. Haddix is playing fullback and Todd Latossi, and it doesn't look like there's an injury.
We certainly have no report from the bench of that being the case. 3rd and 1, Philadelphia. They trail by 14. 9:49 to go, 3rd quarter. Quarterback sneak. Cunningham has to bounce to the outside, and Bowles tries to wrestle him back. Looks like he got enough for the first down, and that's the kind of thing that leads to extracurricular activity.
There's another quarterback fight. It's history. We just broke history. 2 quarterbacks started a fight. It's the first time it's ever been done.
Now it's going to be Cunningham and Williams for the middleweight championship.
I'll tell you, that was good elasticity, though, on Cunningham. He started inside on the quarterback sneak and bounced all the way outside the left end.
Elasticity, huh?
Well, it's good. It's a good bounce. Watch him. He goes into all that beef in there in the middle. Look at that. He said, whoa, there's too much fats in there. Let me go outside and see what I can find out here. Ah, there's a smaller guy. I'll just run over him. That's not bad. I mean, that makes sense.
Pretty good example of elasticity. Here's a pretty good example of a timeout being called. And the timeout is called with 9:17 to go, 3rd quarter, and Randall Cunningham's team trails now by 14 points. Verlander and Lundquist are scheduled next. We've got Williams against Cunningham as a potential battle here. And Philadelphia has a first down and 10 now, trailing by 24, 9:17 to go, 3rd quarter. Verne Lundquist and John Madden at RFK, where the sun has come out. They pitch it back to Cunningham. Quick got a late start and has to turn around, adjust to the ball, and doesn't make the catch inbounds. He'll argue his case.
I'll tell you, he made a heck of an adjustment getting that ball, whether his foot was in or out. That is quite a play. Let's watch him here. He was starting, then he turned all around. Watch him, he gets a hand on there. And I guess that they say that second foot was out of bounds when he had control, because the right foot was definitely in. And look again, the right foot is okay. The left foot's okay there. I think he had both of them in.
Looked like his heel dropped, and they're looking at it in the replay.
They better look at that in the replay. They better take a look. Their only excuse can be, or only reason can be, that he didn't have control. Because he got a right, then he got a left.
There's one, and there's the heel.
Replay,
one knee equals
reviewing the last play.
And then there's a rule that one knee equals 2 feet.
I've read about
that. So
that.
we got a lot of rules in this thing. I don't know.
The replay official today is Jack Reeder, and the communicator is Mike Minchell.
After review by replay, the play was called correctly. Incomplete pass. Second down.
I would say that is inconclusive evidence.
Yeah, well, the left foot was in when he had it, then the right foot. You see? The knee was out. The only thing they had to say was that the ball was juggled and they couldn't see from that angle. They should ask the guy. I mean, they should ask Mike Quick. Did you have control? If he says, yeah, give it to him. What the heck? They're down by 2.
I like your rules.
I'd do it.
2nd and 10. Now you would. How about 10 years ago? Spagnola across the middle. First down. Philadelphia at the 45. Rich Malott makes the tackle for the Redskins. Elsewhere in the NFL, Pittsburgh pounding the 49ers 20-3 in the 3rd quarter. New Orleans over Cleveland 21-14. Tampa Bay has increased its lead over Atlanta. And the Jets lead Buffalo. Our score is 24-10 Washington.
Yeah, I think the Steelers may be better than a lot of people think, and the 49ers might not be as good as a lot of people think.
1st and 10. For 4 yards to the 50. Monty Coleman made the tackle. Number 57. 51. New England now on top of Miami 28-21, and Minnesota has gone on top of Detroit by 5. They trailed 19-10 at one spot. We were tied 10-10 in the first half. And then just before halftime, George Rogers scored for the Redskins to give them a 7-point halftime lead, but he went to the bench with an injured shoulder and has not been back. Redskins scored again in the 3rd quarter. They lead to 14. It's 2nd down. Cunningham, play fake. 3rd sack of the day. Blitzing Alvin Walton, number 40, and Dean Hamill was also a part of it.
Well, Walton got him that time. Remember the last time he hit him just at the end of the throw, and that time he got there. Watch him, number 40. Here's Walton here. He's going to sneak up, sneak up, sneak up. You see, and then he goes, boom. He goes, no one blocks him. And then here comes the linebacker, Monty Coleman, in behind him, and no one blocked him. So they had 2 guys free.
Adam Schroeder, number 76, joined Matt Darwin in going to the left. Remember last year in the season opener, Dexter Manley had his way with Tom Gillespie in this game. Delay of game call.
Offense. Short 3rd down.
This is what you get with a young offense. If 2 guys block 1 and no one blocks 2, and then you get flustered, then you have delay a game, and these things, you just have to work through them.
Eagles had offensive woes in the preseason. Defensively, they're a pretty sound football team.
They've had ups and downs of offensive woes, too, and their defensive woes in the preseason have been the same thing they're suffering here today. Good defense, and then boom, a big play against them.
Martin Latossi and Bobby Morse are in the lineup now, out of the shotgun. 3rd down at 16. Blitz is coming from the Redskins, and Cunningham runs out of it, then an off-balance throw. Is that good? Yes! What a nice catch on the sideline. Greg Garrity.
And he was really hit, too, by Steve Hamilton. Number 64 comes through there, and just as he was going to throw that ball, he gets hit. Here we see the catch first. I tell you, he gets his man going up, Garrity, and then he works back towards the quarterback right in front. But watch the hit that Hamilton gives Cunningham just as he unloads it. Wow. Cunningham did see the reception, though.
That was a helmet-high hit, but it's a first down. Philadelphia trailing 24-10. 6:38 to go, 3rd quarter. They try the fade route, left side. It's caught. Kenny Jackson. That's strictly a timing pattern.
Well, it looks like Jackson lulled Barry Wilburn to sleep. It looks like he was going to Wilburn, didn't think he was going to get the ball. Let's watch and see if Jackson even looks, because Wilburn doesn't. Jackson looked there. I think Wilburn turned the wrong way. I've always believed that you don't turn in that way. You turn in towards the receiver.
That's a gain of 32. Eagles first down at the 11. 6-minute mark of the third quarter. 24-10 Washington. Cunningham. Flag is down. Jackson is going to claim he was interfered with.
And I think that's what happened. I think it was on Barry Wilburn. Sometimes you get frustrated after you're beaten on a play, then you take it out in the next play. Hey, whatever happened, watch Wilburn here, 45. Now, he just got beat, so he just grabs him. He was in the process of getting beaten again. That's what he did. That's only a 5-yard penalty. If Jackson gets behind him, that's 6 points.
I know some guys in the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association be proud of that takedown.
Well, it is. I know some guys in the Wrestling Federation would be proud of that.
That's the difference in living in California and Texas.
You could get that. You could get a takedown like that, get up on the top rope and give him an elbow slam.
First and goal from the 6. 24-10. Washington leads it. Lundquist bopped behind the line. Marcus Cook, number 74, who's starting in place of Dexter Manley today.
He's been playing pretty good, Cook. I mean, he got a couple of pass rushes. Here he gets penetration. What he's going to do, he's coming from the right side there. He gets blocked right into the play. See, he was penetrating. Boom, the guy blocked down on him, but he blocked him right into the runner.
Got some fans or family here. He's a second-year man out of Boise State. It's second and goal from the 8.
The Eagles need a touchdown here.
Addicks right, Todd-Latossi left, and Kenny Jackson in motion. Followed by Wilburn. He comes back. They'll work on Wilburn again, and Jackson can't make the grab a little high.
Wilburn's going to talk to him now. He had 2 plays where he had to talk it. Watch this. Jackson's going to start in motion. Then he'll stop. See, Wilburn's going with him. Now you know it's man. Now he stops and goes back. Wilburn stops and goes back. The ball, Wilburn, Jackson, all there about the same time. Although he should have caught that ball.
Yes.
That would have been a touchdown. Jackson drops that.
I don't think it was any great play by Wilburn.
No. Cunningham said, what do I have to do?
Third and goal. Garrity goes left. Johnson, Mike Quicker to the right. 4-man rush, quarterback draw. Cunningham stopped at the 1.
I'll bet you that they consider right now going for it on 4th down. Down 2 touchdowns. That was an organized play. Watch, they run the back out of the backfield. There's no backs there. It's an organized draw, quarterback draw. And he's going well right there. He has the play. He has the score until he runs into Todd Bowles.
They will go for it on 4th and goal from the 2.
I would think, and I would suspect it would be some kind of trick play, some kind of quarterback keep option type of thing, not a regular run.
Todd-Latossi left, Michael Addicks right. Double tight end set, play fake. Cunningham strolls in for the touchdown. Big Adam Schreiber out there to lead the way.
That's the thing that you have when you have a quarterback like Randall Cunningham. You always have that extra advantage down there. You see what happens is they're going to fake in here. Cunningham fakes, and then he bootlegs out here. Of course, the defense all comes down. Watch him. See, when he fakes to the back, see, the defense all plays trap. Then he pulls his guard out in front of him, and he has a receiver in the end zone, or he can run it in. That's the quarterback option type thing that a Cunningham can give you.
High snap. McFadden's kick, though, is up out of Helchick's hold, and good. So Buddy Ryan's bunch puts together a fine third quarter drive. 4:19 to go in the third period, and the Eagles trail by 7. College football continues on CBS next week. In the meantime, we've got the first weekend of the NFL. 4:19 to go, 24-17. Philadelphia scoring drive, 13 plays, 6 minutes and 53 seconds, and Cunningham on the quarterback keeper around the left side. And Now the Eagles are back within 7. John Telchik will kick off. It's a little humid here. That's a case where you don't mind if you miss your mouth. Keith Griffin. Little room. Flag comes flying. And the season is officially here. We're going to have another one of those illegal blocks. In the meantime, yep, there it is.
Illegal block, number 40, receiving team, 10 yards from the foul, first down.
Alvin Walton. Now let's go back and look at that touchdown, John.
Well, you know, not only the quarterback, but the back on a fake has to really sell out to sell the fake. But watch the effect. Totalatasi, he just dives his body. Watch the effect it has on Malott and Bowles, the safety. Well, they really go for it. Then Cunningham can go. But watch Totalatasi as he fakes. Watch him dive here. He sells out. That really holds the middle linebacker and the safety. Now you get a one-on-one, and you take it in the end zone. So it's a combination of those two.
Darwin had a good block on the play as well. 24-17. Williams hit as he lets it go, and the pass is complete at the 26. There's going to be a penalty. That's what Buddy Ryan was talking about, the problem with Andre Waters. The late hits.
He said that last night. He said, I like the aggressiveness.
Foul, unnecessary roughness, number 20 defense, late hit, 15 yards, first down.
But he said he still gets those late hits. And you come up with a point that you can't live with that. I mean, there's somewhere where you do it, but you can't make a career of doing that. I mean, he's a tough guy. He goes before the whistle goes too, but there's a point where you got him backed up. You know, they had him backed up, the Eagles did, and now you give him 15-yard field position.
From the 41, first and 10, we've got 3:49 to go in the third quarter. Kelvin Bryant knocked down after a gain of a couple. Clyde Simmons and Jerome Brown, number 99, the number 1 draft choice, made the tackle. 20-10 now. Pittsburgh's lead has been cut. Cleveland has come back to tie up New Orleans, and Cincinnati leads Indianapolis by a couple. The Jets over Buffalo by 10. And Minnesota rolling over Detroit now, 31-19, third quarter score. Second down, 7. 24-17, Redskins lead. Terry Hogue comes up defensively for Philadelphia. Williams to Clark. First down, Eagles at the Eagle 45.
Clark has the speed, but he's also one of the quickest guys. You see those little moves? I mean, he's here, boom, he's there, and you never know where he is. And there's his equipment. It just the shoulder pads pop off, elbow pads fall off. That guy has the uniform and the demeanor of a nose tackle.
It's a Gary Clark in a Dave Butts outfit. First and 10, Redskins. 3:27 to go, third quarter. 24-17, Washington. Kelvin Bryant scoots down the sidelines, out of bounds inside the 35.
It's funny how a play like that penalty, the Eagles score a touchdown, and then there's a penalty on the kickoff return. They have it backed up, then they get that penalty. Now the momentum is just shifting back again to the Redskins. This has been like the Redskins take it, then the Eagles take it back over, then the Redskins, and boom and boom. And it's been done by freak things, by fake kicks and so on, and by penalties.
That's another first down. 2:17 to go, third quarter. George Rogers on the bench with an injury, so is Jay Schroeder. Both injured in the first half. Doug Williams came on in the first quarter. Sanders popped underneath as he went up in the air, and Elbert Fowles and Sanders are talking to each other now.
Tell you one thing, Jeff Bostic is now getting Reggie White under control. I mean, you can't set, you can't play it passive, and now he knows you have to snap that ball and sit right there and take him short, which Bostic is starting to do. Watch, remember the last time we looked in, he was getting pushed in the backfield. Now he's getting that left hand up there right now, and he doesn't let him get that push on him.
Second down and 6 from the 30. Play fake. Gary Clark and William Frizzell do battle again. Williams with a grin looks over to his left. 1:25 to go, third quarter.
I think he's looking third down. He's looking to get a bunch of big guys in there so he can run some short yardage.
Give me the Hogs.
I'm sure we'll see that Reggie Branch. They call this heavy jumbo group.
Heavy jumbo?
Yes, heavy jumbo. That'll probably put Don Warren in the backfield, which it does with Reggie Branch.
Here's the Redskins version of heavy jumbo. Sounds like a Cajun dish. First down. Reggie White with the tackle. Reggie Branch with the carry.
That's the thing. Those guys that have this type of build and can get in there quickly and then gain yards falling forward. You know what I mean? When they're being tackled, they still gain yards. You see, he's hit, and then as he's going down, he picks up a yard and a half.
Final 30 seconds, third quarter. Redskins marching with a first and 10 at the 23. Williams will throw it. Nope, he won't either. It's stolen by Reggie White. That's 6.
You talk about momentum turning around. The Redskins are going in for a score, and the Eagles score. I don't know what Buddy Ryan was talking about when he says he has to dominate. Maybe he's talking about this. You come back, look, he's coming away from him. You see what happened is he was looking to the left, Williams was. White just came in and took the ball away from him. It was his front side, but when Williams turned to throw to the left, it became his backside.
In his dreams as a child, I'm sure Reggie White envisioned running 70 yards with a stolen football in the National Football League. He's just done it. It's a nightmare for Joe Gibbs. McFadden to tie it up. Inexplicably, on Reggie White's 70-yard scamper, we are tied at 24. 8 seconds to go, third quarter. 70 yards, Reggie White, with an assist from Clyde Simmons in time for the oxygen. He's 285 pounds, and he runs a 4.640. His time in the 70 is about 7 seconds.
I'll tell you, that's when you go to get that oxygen. You can't try and get it out of the grass, then you go to the oxygen.
McFadden's kick. Heath Griffin, chased by Evan Cooper. First down inside the 40 at the 39. A 54-yard kickoff return.
He's been doing a lot of running because he was the guy that chased Reggie White. Then he had to get the thing and go back the other way. Keith Griffin just run like 200 yards.
This has been fun. That's the end of the third quarter with a score tied 24-all. We now pause for a word from your local. It's been the kind of game that makes fans hope there's no strike. This one's had a little bit of everything. And we're tied 24-all as we enter the final 15. Verne Lundquist, along with John Madden from RFK Stadium, and a 54-yard kickoff return by Keith Griffin has put the Redskins right back in good shape. But they were here 30 seconds ago.
I don't know that Reggie White's recovered from the touchdown yet.
Mike Pitts is in there for him, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I would think you got to take some quick oxygen. I would double the pressure on that. Get that guy back in there. I mean, you know, it is human. It does take a lot out of you. But you got to get it replenished.
First down, Washington at the 39. George Rogers has been on the bench since the first half when he scored a touchdown. Williams goes deep, man open, caught, touchdown. Hartmunk.
Williams threw that on a strike he threw that like you throw a 10-yard pass. Watch Monk, he's in the slot. He has a linebacker there on him. He has to outrun the linebacker. The corner can't get over to help. That's a mismatch. Terry Hogue, the safety, didn't get over it. The corner couldn't help. And, of course, eventually, he's going to run by a linebacker, Seth Joyner.
Steve Cox for the extra point. Nailed it.
The extra point attempt.
Well, we've had a 70-yard touchdown run with a stolen football by Reggie White, a 54-yard kickoff return, and a 39-yard pass to Art Monk. Those have been the last 3 plays.
That's the way Doug Williams does. He has good pass protection, and he zipped that thing. I mean, that didn't stay in the air very long. But look, the closest guy to it is 59, Seth Joyner, and a linebacker going 50 yards will not stay up with Art Monk.
And Doug Williams playing for the first time in a Redskin uniform in a game with meaning.
Doug Williams is talking about the one he threw, and they're talking about what are we going to do next time we have the ball.
Williams now 14 of 23 for 208 yards and 2 TDs. He came on in the first quarter after Jay Schroeder went out with a bruised shoulder. Evan Cooper and Junior Ton Latossi back to return another kickoff, and Steve Cox will plant his right foot into it. 31-24. Been a nice start to the 87 season, and next week we have a CBS doubleheader for you. Tampa Bay will be at Chicago, the Redskins go to Atlanta, New Orleans is at Philadelphia, and San Francisco at Cincinnati. And then most of the country will see the Cowboys take on the New York Giants in the Giants home opener. Others will see Minnesota at the Rams, Detroit against the Raiders, or St. Louis at San Diego. That's next week. Tampa Bay. Steve DeBerg has thrown 5 touchdown passes for Tampa Bay. And the Jets lead Buffalo by 3. Dallas over St. Louis by 10 now. First and 10. Philadelphia from the 20. Quick, good coverage defensively. Darrell Green.
I'm surprised. I think if I were going to work on someone and try and get deep, I think I'd leave Darrell Green alone. I think I'd keep trying over there on Barry Wilburn.
Yeah,
I think of all the corners and being able to cover. He's also one of the fastest guys in the league, Darrell Green. And I think you go to that battle too much, you're going to end up losing.
This is one of those little curiosities that just creeps up in the game. Both quarterbacks, Williams and Cunningham, both of them are now 14 of 23. Second and 10. Rush coming, the blitz. It's Spagnola across the middle. First down, Eagles. Look at him work for the extra yardage out to the 39-yard line. Looked like Bavaro, didn't he?
Well, that's that new body he got.
That's right.
You know, he's not a banker in the offseason now. He lifts weights. And he looks like those bodybuilders now. He got a set of arms hanging out of there.
Body by Yale.
Yeah, right. He got some strong legs going on him. See that? I mean, guys bounce off him now.
I'll tell you how far back from the doghouse he's come. Buddy Ryan said yesterday he might have a Pro Bowl year.
Well, he's caught 5 today, 5 passes for 54 yards. That's a pretty good start.
First and 10 Eagles. Cunningham back. Across the middle into traffic. Spagnola again out to the 46.
There's Joe Conwell, the right tackle of the Eagles. Of all the problems they have, and in the area, they sure can't afford another one in the offensive line.
They've got David Alexander, who has taken his place, a 5th-round rookie out of Tulsa.
And now both teams have a rookie playing right tackle.
David Alexander. Second down. 3. Latossi comes left. They give it on the quick opener up the middle, and Haddix works for the first down across the 50 into the arms of Rich Malott, number 57.
I tell you, these Eagles are scrappers. So I mean, they've been in and out of this game all day. When they were down by by 2. I thought it would be a tough thing for them, but they came right back and they got the 2 and tied it up, and then they gave another one up. Now they have to go get another one and tie it up.
Word from the bench, by the way, is that Anthony Toney, who started the game, is not injured. He fumbled a couple of times, been on the bench since the second series. Don Latossi has gone the distance in his place. Cunningham back on a thread to Mike Quick, first down at the 37.
Interesting play. Mike Quick starts out as the outside guy. Then they take Tautle Latossi out. See, he puts him in motion. See, now he ends up outside of him, so that makes that open middle. You see, that runs the linebacker out, and then that gives Quick the inside. Plus, it gives Randall Cunningham a lane to throw it in.
12 to go in the game. Cunningham 17 of 26 for 229 yards. He has gone the distance in his place. Cunningham back on a thread to Mike Quick, first down at the 37.
That's an interesting play. Mike Quick starts out as the outside guy. Then they take Tautle Latossi out. See, he puts him in motion. See, now he ends up outside of him, so that makes that open middle. You see, that runs the linebacker out, and then that gives Quick the inside. Plus, it gives Randall Cunningham a lane to throw it in.
12 to go in the game. Cunningham 17 of 26 for 229 yards. Play fake. Block from Jerry Fury. The pass overthrown for Quick on the far sideline. New Orleans on top again. Cincinnati regains the lead. Jets have increased the margin over Buffalo. Kansas City struggling with San Diego. Greg Garrity comes in. How about Steve DeBerg with 5 touchdown passes?
He's one of those guys that's capable. I mean, there are some quarterbacks that could play all their life and never throw 5 touchdown passes. But DeBerg is one of those. Steve Grogan is that way. Kramer in Minnesota. Those guys, they're capable of having that type of day. And every once in a while, they do it.
2nd and 10. Blitz coming. They try the fake route for Kenny Jackson. Incomplete. Heck of an effort. Barry Wilburn doing a little victorious dance over Kenny Jackson.
I think what Wilburn's saying, look, if we're going to get on me when they beat me and they catch one, I want some credit when they don't. He's looking the same way as the side that when they beat him, he does look in towards the quarterback and not towards the receiver. I'm sure that's the way they're taught.
Dexter Manley makes an appearance.
Yeah, Dexter hasn't played a game yet. All preseason. It looks like his helmet's played a lot of preseason games, but Dexter hasn't been in it. Okay, there's another guy. He's fired up. You talk about adrenaline. He has like adrenaline, like 528 going through him right now in adrenaline.
If he was a television evangelist, he'd raise a lot of funds. We've got timeout call. Thus far, the Redskins have lost Jay Schroeder and George Rogers with injuries, both in the first half, but Doug Williams has come on to throw a couple of touchdowns. The big play from a Philadelphia perspective, Reggie White's 70-yard fumble rumble for a touchdown. There's Reggie stealing it from Doug Williams and then outrunning, ultimately, Keith Griffin for a 70-yard touchdown, his first TD as a pro.
And he still hasn't recovered. When they went in on defense, he wasn't there, and Doug Williams threw a touchdown against him.
Dexter Manley goes on, works the crowd, then comes to the sidelines. That's 3 times today he's been in, thinking he was going to play, and timeout was called.
Yeah, that's why he didn't need the helmet.
3rd and 10. Blitz from the Redskins. Williams reads it, goes deep for Ron Johnson. Wilburn and Johnson in a battle, and Wilburn wins the battle.
Wilburn is going to get the most out of this one. He's running around the end zone. He said that one was mine. You can't celebrate in the end zone, but he ran there. Watch him again. He turns that same way, so I guess that's the way to do it. He got the interception. Right there, the beanbag, the official says that's where they're going to spot it. Wilburn comes up. He has the ball. He'll keep it.
That is the 4th Eagle turnover. 2 pass interceptions, 2 fumbles. The 2 fumbles occurred in the first 2 series. Washington gets it back. 10:54 to go in the game. Griffin across the 5. And into the arms of Mike Reichenbach, the middle linebacker, number 55. And Jerome Brown is down now. The number 1 draft choice of the Eagles.
That's a formidable group when they play that 46 defense, and they have Brown, Clark, and Reggie White all lined up there together.
While they check on Jerome Brown, time has been called with Philadelphia trailing the Redskins by 7. Jerome Brown is still on the field. Let's see if we can determine what happened.
I tell you, it's a good block by Jeff Bostic. Here's Bostic and Brown. They tie up and start this way. Bostic stays with him and drives him back this way. I tell you, Bostic has gained some strength too, because Jerome Brown's a strong guy. But watch this. Now watch him. 99 is Brown. He's going. Bostic puts him right on his back.
Now from the end zone, this perspective on the injury.
Well, Bostic is 53. Watch him. See, just finish him off. Right there in front. And then boom, he goes down. I'll tell you, I mean, that registered. You know what he did? He landed on someone's foot. I'll tell you, that registered a bunch of points.
Brown out of Miami will walk off unaided. Buddy Ryan, as John said, thinks he was the best player available in the draft. Moves into the starting lineup in his first year. Boy, he and Reggie White in that front 4 for the next decade or so could wreak some havoc.
So that's the thing. And then when they start getting a couple linebackers, maybe they get Roy Nell Young back, they get their secondary together, they're going to be a good defense.
Mike Prince is in. Doug Williams hands it off to Griffin, who goes left. Ken Clark, number 71, makes the tackle. 10-year veteran from Syracuse.
Jeff Bostic is doing a good job. You know, we saw him put Jerome Brown down. That play, you know, he got the best of Reggie White. And of course, he was beaten out by Russ Grimm. Then Grimm gets injured. Bostic comes back, and I'll tell you, he's playing strong in there today. I mean, I think that maybe he didn't have things under control right away, but as this game comes out, he's starting to take control of that middle.
3rd down and 6 Redskins. We've got 10:28 to go. Washington leads Philadelphia by 7, 31-24. 3 wide receiver set with Griffin the running back. Williams goes deep, has a man open, caught. Gary Clark first down at the 46.
I'd take this guy right here. I'd take Gary Clark. I know you say, well, there's this guy and that guy, but this guy makes big plays. This guy is always there, never gets hurt. He's just one of those guys, even when he does get hurt, he's always out there, always a threat.
That's a gain of 46 in addition to the fine testimony from John Madden. First down at the 46. Keith Griffin. So just when the Eagles thought they were going to get the ball back on a 3rd and 6, the Redskins come up with a 46-yard gain, and Cincinnati has trouble with the Colts, but knocks them off by 2. Our first final of the '87 season. That ends a win streak for Ron Meyer and the Indianapolis Colts. So
that's right. Yeah, he had a couple there at the end of the season. You know, that's the thing. I know Buddy Ryan, you know, is upset because he prides himself. You know, he told Cunningham, "You're the boss of the offense. I'm the boss of the defense." And big plays have really gotten him all preseason and so far in the opener.
Here's Kelvin Bryant going weak. John, I want to go back to that point. Hasn't that been traditionally one of the weaknesses of the 46 defense?
Well, or not necessarily the 46 defense as much as the whole theory of gambling. I'm going to go after you. If you get rid of it, you'll get a big play, but if you don't, I'm going to sack you. Now, of course, the better the player, then the less gamble it is. with the Bears, it was that same defense when they won the Super Bowl.
8.5 to go, 31-24. Redskins have a 3rd and 1. And a 7-point lead. Reggie Branch is in. This is heavy jumbo. Branch gets the first down at the 35.
Now we looked at halftime at the passing by distance. Remember we said Doug Williams was different than Schroeder because he had those 1 to 10 yards. But look at the second half. He's opening up. Now look, 21 to 30, he's 1 for 2. 31 to 40, he's 1 for 2. Over 40 yards, he's 2 for 2. So he started out in that that shorter stuff. Now he's airing that thing out. And I'll tell you, those are pretty good stats when you throw the ball that far.
First and 10 for Doug Williams and the Redskins. 31-24, they lead. 7:39 to go. Griffin looks for the block from Jacoby and runs into and out of his shadow, which is huge.
Hey, there's one of the best players in the league in Joe Jacoby. You know, the guy, amazing story, he wasn't even drafted from Louisville. I don't know how you can miss a 300-pound guy in the draft, but they missed Joe Jacoby. And then he goes from starting to be a Pro Bowl player. Hey, he's going to miss Russ Grimm, though, playing right next to him. I know that. I mean, Russ Grimm just led him everywhere.
Graham
in the meeting room.
To lunch. 2nd down and 4. 3 wide receiver set for the Redskins. Quick strike, right side, Ricky Sanders, first down, Washington. Seth Joyner and William Frizzell made the tackle. This Eagles, excuse me, John, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say before the game on the NFL Today, Jimmy the Greek was saying that everyone says that the Redskins have one of the best coaching staffs, or the best coaching staff in the league, and I agree that they do. And I think one of the signs of that is when backup players come in and perform the way they are in the second half.
First and 10, Washington. 7:23 to go. Redskins up by 7. Keith Griffin runs into Ken Clark, and then a flag goes flying. We do have an updated injury report from the bench on Jerome Brown. A bruised elbow, but he might be back. And the word on Anthony Toney has now been changed. We are told that he has bruised ribs. And that is one reason he's not playing.
Number 63, offense, still first down.
Call on Raleigh McKenzie. 3rd-year man out of Tennessee, number 63.
I think he's one of the reasons that Grimm was moved to center. They wanted to get McKenzie in there, so by doing that, they could get Grimm, a bigger, stronger guy at center, and also get Raleigh McKenzie into the thing.
There's Jerome Brown on the sideline, standing right behind Buddy Ryan.
Tony, yeah, I was just going to do that.
Tony's not there. Griffin on first and 20. Clyde Simmons, number 96, makes the tackle. 6:40 to go on the clock running. Washington goes to Atlanta next week. Atlanta getting trounced by Tampa Bay today. Former Eagle coach Marion Campbell down there now.
And of course, former Atlanta coach is now here. Dan Henning is now an assistant on the Redskins staff, so I'm sure that that'll help in their preparation next week, especially personnel.
2nd down and 22. Motion. 4-man rush. Into the left side. Gary Clark again. Byron Evans, a rookie from Arizona, who probably is going to earn a starting spot in a couple of weeks, makes the tackle. Buddy Ryan likes this man.
Yeah, let's watch Joe Jacoby and just watch him right here on pass protection, how he moves and what good feet he has. Watch him here. How you just take your guy, you just bump, and watch. As the right foot moves the left foot, he's always under control. For a big guy, I mean, he's like 6'7", but he has great feet.
If you're thinking in terms of a potential field goal, in the back of your mind, register once again the fact that Jess Atkinson is out with a dislocated ankle, and Steve Cox would be the man. On 3rd down, Williams just won the field goal, and Frizzell just misses the interception.
Ryan was calling William Frizzell, he was calling him Lefty. And everyone thought they were talking about the basketball coach, Lefty Driesell. And he said, no, the country and western singer, Lefty Frizzell.
Didn't know that in Philly.
Yeah, so that's his nickname, Lefty. See, that's a trap. Buddy Ryan was saying during the week, he said, I'm putting Frizzell out there as a safety playing corner. They think they're going to work on him, but I set the trap for him. And now I got it baited. I just hope they take it.
Cox has been primarily employed as a long-distance kicker. This is from 40. And it's perfect. Nice to have a backup place kicker on a 45-man roster. Doesn't happen to many teams. 5:20 to go. As a Swede, you understand that I've got to pull for the guy from Stockholm, Wilander. And here's Steve Cox getting ready to kick it. That is the shortest field goal that Cox has ever attempted in the pros. There's an unusual stat.
And those are the things you don't work on, see, because the short one, that's a timing finesse thing, and you can work on kickoffs and long field goals along with punting, but it's tough to work on those short ones.
Cox kicks it deep. Evan Cooper will take the touchback. And the Eagles, who tied it up on a 70-yard fumble return from Reggie White, have now seen the Redskins score 10 unanswered points.
Hey, that's the impressive thing. We talked about this Redskin, the coaching staff and the job that they've done, because a lot of those things that were done were really done by the backup people. I mean, you think of Doug Williams coming in and his performance. You think of a Sanders in the passes that he's caught, and you think of the kicking by Steve Cox. They're all backup people.
That is because the Redskins have been hurt by injuries. Here's Cunningham. Right side to Michael Haddix. And a wrestling match ensues. 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Haddix has now caught 3 and rushed 14 times for 68 yards.
I think he's a much improved player. He was a #1 draft choice, and now he's in his 5th year. But when you draft a guy #1, he has to be more than just a blocker. I think that's what they had. All the guys that can block and catch a pass. Well, that's good. 5th, 6th, 7th round. When you're #1, you have to do more than that. And today he seems to be starting in that direction.
Eagles need a big play again. That's not what they had in mind.
They've been doing a better job. Last year, of course, they set the record, the NFL all-time record, with 104 sacks. Now here, of course, this is the 4th one today, but I think overall the pass protection has been pretty good today for Cunningham. That time it looked like he didn't have anything open, and the whole deal just collapsed on him.
The one coaching change Buddy Ryan made this year is Bill Walsh has been hired as the new offensive line coach, replacing Ken Hyman. It's 3rd and 11. That, as John said, is the 4th sack today. 3rd and 11. 5-man rush across the middle, incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Greg Garrity still doesn't know where the ball went. He never did see it. Cunningham was getting rushed. 3rd down. He had to get rid of the ball. Garrity had his back to him. He was looking around and didn't know what happened. The Redskins have now taken over this game, and all they have to do is run out the clock.
On 4th down, John Kelchik is back to punt, and Eric Yarber waits near the 40. Nice kick. Yarber at the 31. Yarber back to 37. Tackle made by Byron Evans, a 50-yard punt and 6 on the return. Well, here's an example of that bench strength that the Redskins have displayed today, John.
Well, when you can lose your starting quarterback and then have another guy come in and throw 2 tough touchdown passes when the score's tied when you need them, that's something. Of course, Reggie Branch in the short yardage. And then, as you say, having a backup field goal kicker. Most teams, it's some guard or something going to try it, and the ball shanks off his foot, and people fall all over the place. When you can do those types of things, you have good organization. And I think it's real credit to his coaching staff.
Keith Griffin, one of the backups, who is playing in place of the injured George Rogers with the carry. Schroeder's out, Rogers is out, Grimm is out, Atkinson is out, Darrell Grant was injured. All of those with injuries sustained in this game. And they have a lot of players hurt coming in.
Of course, one of the big ones on defense was Neil Okowitz, their linebacker. So they had to move Rich Malott into the middle. And then, of course, May last week gets hurt, so they have to start the rookie Ed Simmons. He's done a pretty good job.
Glenn Dennison is in now as the H-back. He starts in motion. The handoff goes to Griffin, and we're at the 3-minute mark in this ball game.
Yeah, it was funny. Ed Simmons, we're talking about him starting his first game, but when he started his first preseason game, he was walking down the tunnel to go out, and Joe Bugle, who's the offensive line coach and assistant head coach, said to him, he was going to give him motivation. He said, now look, you've been in a lot of big games, and Simmons goes, no, I haven't been in a big game. This is it.
He played at Eastern Washington. Excuse me. Chokes me up. Yesterday they lost to Nevada Reno. Third down. Handoff deep. They may bring this one back. Kelvin Bryant gets the first down if it stands. Andre Waters made the tackle. Holding. Offense.
Hey, that's that old counter trade. Remember for years that John Riggins would run, and he'd run it in there behind.
Number 69, offense, still third down.
He'd run it in there behind Joe Jacoby and Russ Grimm. That was R.C. Thielman. I was talking to Thielman's wife the other day, and she said that he's really in the best shape he's ever been. He's only 260 pounds, she said, but he really looks good in his uniform. Then these days of 300-pounders, he kind of doesn't look like them, but she said, I look at him, and he wears his uniform nicely. It fits good, looks good.
As opposed to Gary Clark.
Yeah, I don't know that it looks that good. I mean, Justine, it looks a little ragged to me.
It's all a matter of perspective.
She was talking about how the body looks. And I said, you don't want the husband to look good. And she said, oh, yeah, I do.
Them's the important things. Thielman's looking good right now because his team has a 10-point lead at the 2-minute warning. Man, Dean Hamill, Marcus Cook, Darrell Grant, a little defensive get-together on the sideline.
That's Torgy Torgerson. He's been in the league a long time. He's still telling them the plays that they're running. That they're going to trap them.
Kelvin Bryant spins out of the package, gets up near the 35-yard line. Gary Cobb, number 50, makes the stop. And timeout has been called.
We're talking about the counter tray where they run, where they pull the offsides and the back comes in behind them. They usually run that to the right. That was one of the few times they ran it to the left that I've ever seen over the years. Look at Kelvin Bryant. He wants to fight.
Getting a little testy.
He's not big enough. I mean, he has a lot of bones in that uniform.
Time is called with 1:49 to go in the game, and it'll be 4th down and 12. Bring you up to date on other scores. The Eagles, by the way, are out of timeouts now. Our score 34-24 with 1:49 to go, and Tampa Bay just wallops Atlanta 48-10. Atlanta is at home against the Redskins next week. Minnesota defeats Detroit 34-19. Pittsburgh in the 4th quarter still leads San Francisco now by 13 points. New Orleans hangs on in a lead over Cleveland by 7 in the 4th quarter. And Houston has gone on top of the Rams 17-16 in the 4th quarter. Jets beating Buffalo by 10. Kansas City leading San Diego by 7. And we've got a 4th down. A flag is down. And Cox booms one. Garrity will let it go, and it'll go into the end zone.
That's going to be against the Eagles anyway, but it won't be enough for a first down for the Redskins. Cox may be MVP today.
Good point.
Offsides, defense, number 45, decline. First down, 20-yard line.
So Steve Cox, in addition to a field goal and a couple of extra points, just got a 65-yard punt.
Oh, I mean, he's pumped up. I mean, he could probably arm wrestle Dave Butts or someone and win the way he's so strong. Look, guys are loving him, patting him on the back, high five, 10, give me it.
That doesn't happen to those punters very often.
Not much. There's not a lot of love between kickers and all the teammates normally. But today there's a lot of love out there for him. Love you. Just saying love you.
Love you? Hollywood Steve, huh?
Yeah, look at him. Look at him. He's not even sure how to do it. He doesn't know how all those guys do it all the time.
First down and 10. Shovel pass, Junior Latossi, big hole. And a gain of 9 out near the 29-yard line. Eagles are out of timeouts.
I think the Redskins at the end are going to be one of the top teams in the NFL, and the Eagles are going to surprise some people before it's over.
Eagles are at home against New Orleans next week, and they go out to San Francisco. Here's Dick Jorgensen.
False start, number 63. Offense, still second down.
That's Ron Baker, the veteran in that line. New England knocks off Miami by 7. Excuse me, John.
I was just saying, Buddy Ryan said last night he thought the best team in football last year, of course, was the Giants, and they proved it. But he thought the second best team were the Redskins. He said the only reason they weren't in the Super Bowl is they weren't in the other league. I kind of agree with that from last year, that those were the two best teams.
More confusion on the field.
Operator, reset the game clock on 1 minute 15 seconds. 1:15.
Say please.
No chance.
Thank you.
No, they said that. No, that's good though. If you don't say please, it's okay if you say thank you. But you have to do one of the two. You have to say please, then you don't have to say thank you, or you have to say don't say please, then you have to say thank you.
That's good deportment.
Yeah, right.
Cunningham in trouble. Avoids the sack and picks up enough yardage for the first down out across the 30.
The one group that's going to be tired in this game are the defensive linemen, because they've both been chasing quarterbacks all day. And I'll bet you some of these guys have lost up to 20 pounds.
That's the new rule that's in effect this year, and the Redskins fans, being unfamiliar with it, start booing when Cunningham looks to the sideline and intentionally grounds it. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Washington Redskins and the National Football League is prohibited. 52 seconds to go. Cunningham deep right side for Kenny Jackson. Incomplete. Davis, the second-round draft choice, knocked it away. Coming up next Saturday on CBS, Georgia against Clemson, both 2-0 on the young season. That'll be live at 2:30 Eastern Time here on CBS. Enjoyed the telecast last night of Alabama and Penn State. Brent Musburger and Pat Hayden and Harry Parsegian, John Dockery. There's a familiar sight.
Alabama looked good. I watched that last night too. They're a machine.
How about Bobby Humphries? That's another first down. And the clock will continue to run with 37 seconds to go. Coming up next, the NFL Today postgame show with scores and highlights will bring you up to date on all the activity on this first weekend of the 87 NFL season. And again, they stop the clock. Better do a good job of publicizing that new rule. Maybe we can help them.
I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. I know the rule.
Second down.
And you can stop the clock, but I don't know why they're doing it. I mean, what are you prolonging this thing for? It's over. Call in the dogs and put on the fire. The hunt's over. Get ready for New Orleans.
I will not ask you to sing.
Oh.
21 seconds to go. Valve pass to Junior Latossi. And unless he gets out of bounds, that might be the final play of the game. 5 seconds to go. And in order to kill the clock, Cunningham throws it into the ground, but it's done with no time. Philadelphia Eagles, this time by 10. Good ball game.